in the Bay Area, and the Angels suffering last night what has to be the most bitter defeat for them so far this year. Apparently having the ball game won, only to see it tied up by Dave Duncan's second home run of the game in the bottom of the ninth, and then the A's finally winning it in 13 by a score of 7-5. So the Angels try to gather their forces and get a split up here in Oakland before heading to the Far East to take on the Yankees, the Washington Senators, and the Boston Red Sox to conclude the road trip. While the Angels are in the East, the A's also will be there. They will be playing a weekend series against Boston, and then they move into New York and then on down to Washington before returning home. And as we mentioned, the Angels try to gather their forces. They try to gather all their forces as the American League batting champion Alex Johnson has been inserted back in the lineup this evening against the Oakland A's. Alex and the Angels, manager Phillips, had a talk this morning. Alex called manager Phillips about 11 o'clock this morning, and they conferred from about an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours, and after the conclave was over, it was decided that Alex would be in the lineup this evening against the Oakland A's. And the Angels will have to beat one of the best in baseball if they are to get a split in this two-game series, as Jim Catfish Hunter goes after his 9th consecutive victory. Look over the starting lineups right after our national anthem. For one of the big days of the year right around the corner. That would be on the 13th of June, a Sunday. And that day would be the great day, Angels Disneyland Fun Day. Afternoon at the Big A, watching the Angels against the Washington Senators. And starting at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's off to Disneyland for an evening of unlimited rides and entertainment. Stay until midnight if you wish. It really is the bargain of the year. Tickets for the entire package range from $6 to $8, depending on the seat you choose. And they are on sale right now at the Anaheim Stadium box office, open 9 to 5 daily at Mutual and Liberty agencies and UC Bank in Orange County. The Angels lead it off with Sandy Alomar at shortstop. Roger Repose will be at first. He will bat second. Alex Johnson again back in the lineup will bat third. Johnny Stevenson, who had his 15-game hitting streak snapped last night, will be the catcher. Ken McMullen will be at third. Tony Conigliaro will be in right field. Conigliaro in right. Sid O'Brien will be at second base. Ken Berry will be in center. And right-hander Tom Murphy, who has 1-5 lifetime against the A's. To do the pitching, Murph so far this year has won 2. He has dropped 6. Bert Campaneris leads it off for the Oakland A's. He'll be followed by Joe Rudy in left field. Reggie Jackson will be in right. Mike Epstein, left-handed batter at first base against Murphy. Sal Bando will be at third. Rick Mundy will be in center field. Dave Duncan will do the catching, the hero of last night's ball game. Dick Green will be at second base. And Jim Catfish Hunter, the Catfish has won 8 in a row. He has lost 2 at fine earned run average of 2.47 going for. So on a rather cool evening but delightful night in the Bay Area, time to play baseball, and for the play, here's Don Wells.
Thank you, Dave, and good evening, everyone. When the Angels left the Oakland Coliseum last night, they had that horrible feeling of 13-inning emptiness. We'll see what happens out here tonight. Sandy Alomar rips a live drive out of the left field. Joe Rudy right there, started in, and then had to fade back to grab the line shot off the bat of Sandy Alomar. Sandy is coming into the game hitting .205. His average took quite a tumble last night as he went 0 for 7 against Oakland pitching. Alomar .205, 1 homer and 16 runs driven in. Here's Roger Repose. Rod hitting .273. He has driven across 14 runs and has hit 4 homers. So the Angels, in having their problems out here last night in extra innings, for the second time, they went through 13 innings with the Oakland Ball Club and came away empty-handed. The wind and the pitch by Hunter, and the first delivery over the outside edge for a strike to make it 0-1. Hunter, with an ERA of 2.47 for the year, 11 starts, 7 complete games. He has worked 83 innings, walked 24, and he has struck out 51. So for Catfish, in that game against the Angels at Anaheim Stadium on April 20th, he walked 5 and he struck out 6. Since that time, he has been very stingy in the walk department. Fastball almost nicked Raj in the shoulder as he spun away from it, and the count is 1-1. We have a good breeze blowing again this evening, so the ball should carry well. Right now it's blowing toward right center field. We have just a few clouds that are scudding by in the evening hours here in the East Bay. Next delivery for a strike, and the count is 1-2. So Alomar opened it up, swung the ball sharply, but right to the left fielder, Joe Rudy, and now Roger Repose with a count 1-2. Alex Johnson will be next. So the X back in the lineup for the Angels. This Oakland Ball Club, we mentioned in the pregame show, really tough against Western Division teams. Pitches cut out and miss. There's a sinking fastball by Hunter. As Dave Duncan pointed out to Dick on the pregame show, the one thing about Hunter, previously when he would have been high with the fastball, and recently has been able to keep it downstairs, and he did so here to get Repose on strikes. So Hunter logs his 52nd strikeout of the year. Here's Alex Johnson. A.J. hitting .236, 1 homer, 8 runs, 7 earned. 2 down, nobody on to worry Catfish Hunter, and the Cat goes to work and throws a breaking ball high and away for ball 1. The game between Minnesota and Milwaukee at the end of 7.5. It's Minnesota 4, Milwaukee 1. That's Bert Blyleven for the Twins. Lockwood made the start for Milwaukee, and Lopez came on in the 8th inning. Next delivery for a strike, and the count is 1-1. Kansas City trails the White Sox 6-2 at the end of 6.5. Dennis Patke homered in the 7th with a man on, his first of the year. Hedlund was bombed by the White Sox in the 6th inning. York came on in relief as Chicago picked up 6 in the 6th. 1-1 delivery, ripped out a miss. 1-2. Alex out of action for 2 games. In his last start, he gone 2 for 4. Did that in the White Sox series. The line to the 1-2 offering on the way to A.J. Swung on line drive out of the left field base hit. He cranked it sharply out in front of Joe Rudy. Rudy plays it back into the infield, and Alex has the first hit of the evening. John Stevenson, the catcher, approaches the plate. John hitting .385, 1 homer, and 11 runs batted in. The Tigers lead the Yankees 1-0 at the end of 7. That's Kilkenny for Detroit and Mel Stottlemyre for New York. And Kilkenny is out now. Sherman has replaced him in the 8th inning. Stevenson trying to get himself properly planted in the batter's box. Alex with a short lead at first and the pitch. John swings and cranks it foul up the first base side for strike 1. Baltimore defeated Cleveland 3-2. They had 8,800 in Baltimore. Mike Cuellar winning his 6th against 1 defeat. That lost to Hand to make his record 0-2. And Veda Pinson hit his 3rd homer. It came in the 8th inning with none on. Boston down Washington 3-2 to get back at the Senators. Senators had picked up a pair of victories at Boston's expense. Here's the 1-strike pitch. Stevenson swings and lifts it high and foul, and it will carry well out of play off to the right. 2 strikes. In that Boston win over Washington, the winner was Ray Culp, 5-3. Janeski, the loser, 1-4. Montreal beat Atlanta 11-1. Stoneman, the winner, picking up his 6th. This was a 2-hitter. And Jackson hit his 1st homer. In the 12th inning, the Phillies have picked up a run. They now lead the Mets 3-2 at the end of 11.5. 2 strikes here on Stevenson. Pitch out called for by Duncan, but Johnson doesn't stray too far away from the bag at first. Pittsburgh shut out Cincinnati 2-0, and the big man for the Pirates, Willie Stargell again, his 15th homer. He accounted for both runs with his homer in the 6th. Last the winner, 4-2. Cloninger, the loser, his record 2-2. 1-2 offering now to Stevenson. Swung on, popped up. Going for it, the second baseman, Dick Green, with an easy move, and in the short grass of right field, he picks this off for the out. The Angels with no runs, 1 hit. Single by Alex Johnson, no errors, a man left. And the score at the end of the top of the first, the Angels 0, and the A's are coming on.
When is a pickup truck not a pickup truck? Well, when it's the Datsun Little Hustler. You see, so many of the people who own a Datsun pickup use it as their car, too. And there's no reason they shouldn't. It gives them sports car handling, sedan comfort, and small car economy. No wonder it's the nation's #1 selling import truck. When it's handling its hauling chores, the Datsun pickup is no loafer either. The powerful overhead cam engine pulls through easily, even with heavy loads. And economically, too. Up to 25 miles per gallon. If it's a camper you want, the Datsun Little Hustler even carries that off in grand style. So if it's sporty fun you're looking for, or an economical commuter, or a hard-working hauler, or all of those, then there's just one answer. The pickup that's not just a pickup. The Datsun Little Hustler. It's a lot of truck for a little money. See the small car expert, your nearby Southern California Datsun dealer, for a close look at the Datsun pickup. And when he asks you what you want, Tell them you want to drive a Datsun. Then decide.
Last night's game going 3 hours and 35 minutes, the longest game from a time standpoint for the Angels and for the Oakland Ball Club for that matter this season. So as we pointed out previously, the two teams had battled for 13 innings, with Oakland winning both decisions. The other games in the National League: Cubs 4, Cardinals 3 at the end of 6.5. San Francisco at Los Angeles tonight. San Diego and Houston, they're tied 1-1 at the end of 8, and they're playing 2 in San Diego. Bert Campanera starts it off. Campy's batting average .250, 3 homers, 15 runs driven in. He faces right-hander Tom Murphy, and the pitch to the right-hander batting shortstop is an off-speed curve low for ball 1. Campanera with 14 stolen bases, and he has hit in 17 of the last 19 games. Of course, he was the man who reached before the homer by Reggie Jackson in the 13th last night, as Oakland won it 7-5. The pitch. Campanera swings through this. Good, sharp, and quick-breaking stuff by Murphy. The count is 1-1. In fact, with that 2-run victory last night, this is a department where Oakland has been very strong. They have won 7 of 8 games that have been determined by that margin. It'll be Campaneris, then Joe Rudy, then Reggie Jackson. Reggie has hit safely now in 6 straight, and he has been on a big binge this month. Curve outside, ball 2, 2-1. And Jackson, with a red-hot month of May going for him, has an average now of .274 with 8 homers and 22 runs driven in. The Yankees picked up a pair in the 8th inning. They lead Detroit 2-1 at the end of 7.5, and they're playing at Tiger Stadium. 2-1 offering now by Murphy, swung on and slapped foul up the third base side. Herb Noran, the coach at third. And Herb watches this one travel over toward the seats, retrieved by one of the ball girls that the Oakland A's use. They have young ladies seated down in foul territory in both directions, first and third. Count 2-2 on Campaneris. That leaning look by Murphy, and he gets it ready. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball is low, ball 3, 3-2. Minnesota with a 4-1 lead over Milwaukee, and their game at the end of 8. Minnesota starting out this evening's play in second place in the Western Division, 7.5 games behind Oakland. The Royals have moved ahead of the Angels. They trail by 8.5, and the Angels are 9.5 games out. 3-2 pitch. He lost it. Threw it low, ball 4. The Angels, before Campaneris finally reached in the 13th, had done a very fine job in keeping him off base. In fact, he struck out 3 times, and he didn't manage to get the ball out of the infield in his first 5 appearances. Then an error charge to Sandy Alomar enabled Campaneris to get on. And that always seems to be a piece of important chemistry for this ball club. I imagine it works just as well against other teams as it does against the Angels. And, of course, it holds true for just about every team you can think of, with a good man in that leadoff spot, a man with exceptional speed. And, of course, Campaneris certainly has that. Been caught stealing 4 times, has 14 stolen bases. Rudy takes the slider low and outside for ball 1. At the end of 8.5 innings now, it's Houston 2, San Diego 1, and that's the first of 2. Murphy, an ERA for the season of 4.32 for Tom. He has started 11 games, completed 2, worked 72 in a fraction innings, walked 24, and he has struck out 20. And Oakland has always been a tough club for him. Campaneris with about a 5-foot lead. The pitch. Rudy takes it low, and a good stop made by Stevenson. This one skipped up to John, and the count is 2-0. Murphy lifetime against the Oakland Ball Club, 1-5. Of course, he was defeated by Catfish Hunter on April 20th in that 4-0 Catfish shutout at Anaheim Stadium. And his lifetime earned run average against the A's is over 7. The outfield sort of bunched up the middle here. Tony C. a long way off the right field line. Campaneris, with his lead, draws an easy toss. Murphy to repose. No score. Oakland at bat. Last half of the first. No outs on the board. Right-handed Joe Rudy operating out of that very exaggerated closed stance, and the pitch. Rudy takes a little close. Ball 3, 3-0. The Angels with a travel day tomorrow, leaving San Francisco Airport tomorrow morning and arriving in New York at approximately 8:30 Eastern Time, and then to get ready for the weekend series with the Yankees. And we'll give you the pitching pairings as we go along. The 3-0 pitch. Campaneris goes. It's low and close. ball 4. A needless throw by Stevenson, and it's not a stolen base. The fans applauding. They thought Campaneris had swiped another. Well, he might as well have, because the pitch to Joe Rudy was low and close. So the A's have runners at first and second for Reggie Jackson. Jackson's average 274. Now with 8 homers and 22 runs driven in. The ball he drove out of here last night, he waylaid over the fence in deep left center field. 400 feet to straightaway center, 375 right center and left center, and it's 330 down the foul lines, and we're going to have immediate action in the Angel bullpen. Alomar creeping in behind the runner, and the pitch, nope. Was time called or wasn't it? Jackson stepped out of the batter's box, held up his hand, and the indication by the plate umpire now, that is the ball. As apparently when Jackson made that move, he recognized the move made by Jackson, and he had called time. And now apparently time had not been called, and the pitch high and away, so it is indicated ball 1. Now the next delivery in for a strike to make it 1-1. So though Jackson had wandered out of the batter's box on the first pitch with a long lead taken by Campaneris, and Alomar sneaking in behind the runner, the pitch counted, but it was not in Murphy's favor. Ball 1 and strike 1. Nobody out. Runners at first and second, and the A's spinning their wheels right here in the first inning. Curve snapped across the knees for a strike, and it's 1-2. The end of 8 innings in Detroit, the Yankees 2, the Tigers 1. And Reggie Jackson a little overheated about the call. Rookie umpire Bill Diggin, who tossed Lefty Phillips out of last night's game, the first time that Harold has been thrown out of a game as the manager of the Angels. He's behind the plate tonight. The runners go. The pitch high inside, throw to third. They won't get it. Double steal executed here as they run against Stevenson, even with the left-hander, Reggie Jackson, at the plate. And, of course, running against Tom Murphy, too, because Tom did not pay too much attention to Campaneris. And Campaneris pedaled out to a lengthy lead, and Joe Rudy just followed them along. So Campaneris has his 15th stolen base. Runners at second and third. The count 2-2 on Jackson. Left-hander Mike Epstein next. The pitch by Murphy, and Jackson swings and flashes it foul up the first base side. That's the bag by about 2 or 3 feet. Final score in the National League: the Phillies beat the Mets 3-2 in 12. Brandon, the winner, 2-1. McGraw, the loser, 3-2. They had 23,300 at New York Shea Stadium. So the cheese is a little more binding here with Campaneris at third, Joe Rudy at second base, and nobody out. 2-2 offering in the works, and here it is. And it's right down at his feet, and again, a fine save made by Stevenson, so Murphy is way off target early. 3-2. Right-hander Archie Reynolds begins to heat it up in the bullpen. Irish Tom trying to register an out somewhere. Find one in his pocket. Slow stretch by Murphy, and the 3-2 pitch. Jackson takes it in the dirt. It skips away from Stevenson. And let's see what the call is here. Apparently the pitch hit him. So the ball was dead as it caromed off the foot of Reggie Jackson. Jackson now indicating that the ball did go off his left foot. And here's Lefty Phillips going out to the mound right away. Caromed very sharply away from John Stevenson, indicating that it struck something. And as Campaneris started down the line from third, the plate umpire Diggin held up the stop sign and said, "Stay where you are. This man has been hit by a pitch." So the bases are loaded. Lefty has his say to Murphy. Sandy Alomar out there, John Stevenson. And Lefty now starts back toward the dugout. So the Oakland A's shooting for a bundle here in the first inning. They have not required a base hit in order to cause all this commotion. And here's Mike Epstein. Mike hitting .258, 3 homers, and he has knocked in 15 runs. So this power package, left-handed batter against the right-hander Tom Murphy. Murph kind of tilted out there on the mound looking for the sign. Has it now. The wind and the pitch on the way, and Epstein with a swing and a miss on this for strike 1. McNertney is just homered. Picked up his second of the year. That came in the seventh with a man on. That makes it the Cardinals 5 and the Cubs 4. Jerry McNulty, wrapping one for the Chicago outfit. Narrowed that St. Louis lead. And the one-strike pitch. Swung on, foul tip. Or check on that to give the Cardinals a 5-4 lead. Cardinals 5, Cubs 4 now. And they're batting the seventh inning. St. Louis still batting. Nothing at 2 count on Epstein. Sal Bando next, and Rick Mundy. Wind by Murphy, and the 2-strike pitch. High and tight, 1-2. Minnesota 4, Milwaukee nothing, and the Brewers are at bat in the last of the ninth. Royals trail the White Sox 7-3. White Sox up with another run in the seventh inning, so that game at the end of 7. Runners away to their leads. Campaneris, Rudy, and Jackson. Murphy takes more time, has the sign, the 1-2 pitch on the way, and a swing and a foul tip. Off Epstein's bat that he flares back toward the base of the screen, and the count stays at 1-2. So a slow-moving bottom half of the first inning as the Oakland Ball Club, with a walk to Campaneris, a walk to Rudy, then the double steal, then Jackson hit by a pitch, hit in the foot. He starts to travel away from the bag at first. And a ball, 1-strike, 2 count on Epstein. Tom Murphy gets it ready, and here it is. And a swing and a ground foul up the first base side. Still ball, 1-strike, 2. The Oakland Ball Club with a lightweight crowd on hand tonight at the Coliseum. And again, it's one of those chilly evenings in the East Bay. Been kind of a mess in the way of weather here this morning. Combination of fog and a little bit of drizzle. And that finally broke up and passed away. But cool tonight. 1-2 delivery off the curve, fouls it over the screen, and the count stays at 1-2. 23 games, the Oakland A's have drawn 210,232. And the Angels in 26 days at the Big A drawing 332,739. To give you a little comparison count. Wind and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, lifted high in the air. It's going to be into right center field. Ken Berry is there. The run will check across, and Berry now fires the ball to the second base. On to third will go Joe Rudy. Ken indicating that his arm is on the tender side. He did not make the long throw toward third, or to Sandy Alomar to try to keep the runner from second advancing to third. And as Berry made that short throw toward the infield to indicate that he has the stiff arm, the bad arm. The run moves up. So Rudy is stationed at third, one down, a run across, and a sacrifice fly by Epstein, his 16th RBI. Campaneris scored. Rudy at third, Jackson remained at first. And the batter is Sal Bando. Sal hitting .278. He has knocked in 27 runs to lead the club, and he has 6 homers. Murphy set at the belt, and the pitch. Bando takes it low for ball 1. The A's then have not required anything in the way of a nickel-plated attack here. 2 walks, double steal, hit batsman, sacrifice fly, and they lead 1-0. Runners at first and third, the infield back. Jackson goes, the pitch low and outside. Stevenson bluffs the throw to second. Stolen base for Jackson. Three stolen bases in the inning. Now the A's have runners at second and third. And the count to Bando is 2-0, and left-handed batter Rick Mundy is coming up. That first game between Houston and San Diego, Houston won at 2-1. Blasting game the winner 3-5. Roberts the loser with the same record 3-5. So let's see what Murphy does here. 2-0 pitch. Curve, base hit left field. 1 run scored. Rudy checks across. Jackson rounding third. Johnson up with the ball. He'll play it toward third. Both both walks and the hit batsmen have checked across the pay station here, and Oakland leads the Angels 3-0 in the last of the first. Still only one out. Bando at first base. The batter will be center fielder Rick Mundy, hitting .224, 6 homers. He has knocked in 18 runs. So Bando, the leader in RBIs for the Oaklanders, now has 29 for the season. Tom Murphy laboring away here. Getting himself ready, and the toss over to first base, handled by Repose. Back in ample time of Sal Bando. Repose at first, O'Brien at second, Alomar at short, McMullen at third. Canigliaro, Berry, and Johnson in the outfield. Stevenson behind the plate, and Murphy, the man of the mound, delivers to the plate. It's cut out, popped up. It's going to be shallow in left center field. Sandy Alomar wants it, and Sandy handles it. That is the second out. They get Mundy, the left-handed batter, and here comes the big home run man of last night's game. Pair of homers in the next inning victory for the Oakland A's last night. Dave Duncan. Dave hitting .231. 5 homers. 3 of those have been off Angels pitchers. And he has driven across 12 runs. At the end of 7 in St. Louis, the Cardinals lead the Cubs 7-4. Here Oakland runs out the 8 o'clock express against the Angels. And they lead 3-0 in the last half of the first inning. Bando's lead at first. The pitch. Curve. Missed. Ball 1. Oakland 4-0 against the Angels. They are 5-3 against Kansas City. They are 5-0 in competition with Milwaukee, and they have won 4 out of 5 from Minnesota. The only team to play them even, the White Sox. They have won 3 and dropped 3. Go over the first again to send Bando back to the bag. Against the American League East, they are 4-2 with Baltimore, 3-3 with Cleveland, 3-2 with Detroit, and 0-1 with Washington. The 1-0 pitch. Duncan swings and misses on a change shown here by Murph. The count 1-1. And this ball club will be following the Angels around as we make the swing to the American League East. They will visit the same cities with New York and Washington and Boston involved. And the Angels' first stop will be in New York. Idle tomorrow with travel. And then everything begins on Friday night at Yankee Stadium. Instead of the toss to the plate, Murphy goes to first. And again, Bando easily moves back. Archie Reynolds has been throwing in the bullpen. He stopped now to watch to see if Murphy gets out of this. Came around. Duncan trying to hold up on his swing and failed to do so. So the count is ball 1 and strike 2. Giants picked up a pair of runs in the first inning. They lead the Dodgers 2-0 at the end of 1. I understand it was a promotion at Dodger Stadium. It was seat cushion night last night. Seat cushions on the field, that is. 1-2 delivery. Swung on, and it hits the bag at third. Barehanded by McMullen. The throw across, and he gets him. Dave Duncan, very slow in leaving the batter's box. In fact, Dave, when he took the swing on that pitch, he fell back on his heels and then tried to right himself to get away from home plate. We were watching the play at third as McMullen made quite a play. And the ball, of course, set up in a perfect way for Mack as it came off the bag. Up in the air, Mack barehanded the ball, then gunned the throw to Repose at first base, and Duncan was still about 15 feet away from first base when Repose gathered it in. For the Oakland A's, then, they collect 3 runs in the inning. They needed only 1 base hit. They singled by Sal Bando, plus a sacrifice fly by Epstein. No errors and a man left. Score at the end of the first, Oakland 3, the Angels 0. Say, here's a money-saving idea from the men at the sign of the Chevron. Why don't you let them give you a worry-free head start on the holiday weekend and summer driving ahead by checking your tires right now. Then check their Memorial Day specials on quality Atlas tires now on sale. The Plycron 2+2, for example. 2 belts of fiberglass plus 2 plies of tough polyester cord. Or the HP, the road-hugging performance tire with extra miles built in. The Plycron, that's the popular full 4-ply round tire. And for light trucks, the rugged traction truck tires. All on sale right now. And for better tire mileage, take advantage of the savings on Atlas shocks and Atlas load boosters. Remember, you can charge all Atlas tires and accessories on your Chevron National Travel Card. And also budget terms are available. So for unlimited driving pleasure and safety, take advantage of this limited time sale offer right now at all standard stations and participating Chevron dealers. going to be an early work night for the Angels. They find themselves down 3-0 as we get started here in the second inning. Ken McMullen looks at a curve thrown by Hunter low for ball one. So Catfish, who has been extremely tough of late, finds himself out in front by 3. Pitch to McMullen, clipped off the bat handle and fouled up over the screen. The count 1-1. Minnesota took care of Milwaukee tonight 4-1. We know, too, that the Brewers, though they out-hit the Twins 8-7, they committed 4 errors. Blyleven, the winner, 6-4. Lockwood, the loser, 3-4. The pitch to McMullen, and he sends this one foul. Arcs its way back into the lower deck to the right. The count 1-2. They have 4,900 at County Stadium, Milwaukee. And the weather around that particular portion of the country is not too good. Boy, they had some low temperature readings. In Iowa, as an example, some record lows in the 30s yesterday. Swing and smashes the foul back to the screen, and the count stays at 1-2 on McMullen. Mack hitting .252, 6 homers, and he's driven across 15 runs. And right now, for Ken McMullen, apart from John Stevenson, of course, Stevenson's average of .385 and fewer appearances than McMullen. Mack's making the best contact in the Angel club. 1-2 pitch. And threw it a little bit high and wide. Ball 2. 2-2. Rudy May is to be placed on the 21-day disabled list. The information we received from manager Lefty Phillips this evening. 2-2 delivery. And McMullen looks at strike 3. Breaking ball by Hunter to get him. The Angels have one away. Hunter's second strikeout. We're going to take a moment here and pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
100,000 watts at your command. KMND FM stereo in Mesa, Arizona. Mountain Standard Time is 8:30.
Tony C. comes up for the first time, and the pitch to Conigliaro. Curveball low for ball 1. That's Catfish Hunter beat Murphy on April 20th for his first victory of the year. He has reeled off 7 additional straight wins and 6 more complete games, including his last 4 in a row, all complete jobs. Tony C. takes it close ball 2-0. And he has walked only 3 men in his last 3 games, and all of those bases on balls came in the same game. So that would indicate he isn't going to give you anything. 2-0 pitch. Swung on a miss. Tony C. ripped his way right through it. The count 2-1. Remember, the All-Star voting period begins Friday, May 28th. And it ends on June 30th. 2-1 pitch. Tony C. drives it out of the right center field. Tagged well. Back for it goes Mundy. Still in the round, and this ball all the way out to the board. Between Mundy and Jackson, on his way to second base goes Tony Conigliaro. So Tony C. drives one deep into right center field. For Conigliaro in the doubles department, this is the 11th for Tony C., and he heads the club in that department. And for the Angels for the season, they now have collected 67 two-base hits. So the All-Star voting will begin Friday, May 28th. It ends June 30th, and ballots will be available Friday in the main lobby at Anaheim Stadium and in more than 75,000 retail stores across the nation. And when the Angels return from the road on June 8th, ballot boxes will be placed at all gates in Anaheim Stadium. The pitch to Sid O'Brien, nubs it off the head of the bat with a lot of spin on it. Epstein at first base picks it off, goes to the bag, and the put out is made in an unassisted way. So O'Brien is retired easily, nubbing this one up the line to first. The batter will be Ken Berry. Moving on to third, Tony Conigliaro. The Angels still in business here, trying to produce a run and narrow that Oakland 3-0 lead in the second inning. The Yankees beat Detroit 2-1. Stottlemyre the winner, Mel 5-2. And we'll see Mel on Sunday in Yankee Stadium. Kilkenny the loser 0-2. They had 11,500 in Detroit. And the Tigers, the number 3 team in the American League East. Pitches clipped foul off the bat of Berry, strike 1. In fact, the Tigers open up things only 3.5 games from the top in the American League East. Baltimore trailing Boston by a pair. And the Tigers, as Dave points out, have won 7 in a row. So the Yankees have taken care of that winning streak tonight in that very close game, the victory for Stottlemyre. Fastball low and close to Berry. The count is 1-1. So the Tigers, 23-20 for the year. Boston leading Baltimore by a pair. Of course, that's been changed around a little bit as we look over the scores of the day. Next delivery is the curve low for ball 2, 2-1. Broadcast time on Friday from Yankee Stadium will be 4:40 Pacific Daylight Time to all of our network stations for Angel warm-up. And the Angels will see Steve Klein. Barry swings and ground ball up the middle, but it's picked up by Green, their second. The toss to first for the out. That takes care of the Angels. No runs, one hit, doubled by Tony Conigliaro. No errors, and Tony C. dies right there at third. Score at the end of the top of the second. Oakland 3, the Angels nothing.
You said a lot of things nobody else can say. You've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. You said the word that means you like to do it all. When you say but, it means you want to do that gotta take that's number one.
Everybody has a favorite beer, the one they save for those special occasions. Well, if Budweiser is your favorite beer, why not make it your regular beer, too? Don't you deserve the best? Go all the way. All the time.
When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
For the Oakland A's, they come up here in the last half of the second inning. They had only the one hit, the single by Bando in the first, but in the overall scheme of things, they managed 3 runs off Tom Murphy, and Tom now challenges second baseman Dick Green, right-hander hitting .234. Murphy's pitch. Green takes the fastball low and outside ball 1. Green with 5 homers. Had one in last night's game, and he has driven across 21 runs. White Sox defeated Kansas City 7-2. Wilbur Wood, the winner, 3-2. Mike Hedlund, the losers, 4-3, and they had 3,600 in Chicago. Next delivery, low outside ball 2, 2-0. The weather in the Midwest and the East still extremely fickle. Very changeable. 2-0 pitch, ground ball towards short. Alomar scoops it up and makes the toss to Repose for the out. One down, that will bring up Catfish Hunter. And don't tread on me, says Catfish, because as a hitter, he is 11 for 33. And he has driven in 2 runs. So he makes a very strong ninth man in the order for the Oakland Ball Club. He has hit safely in 8 of the 10 games in which he has batted. And at one time had a streak of 4 consecutive hits over the span of 2 games. Right-handed batter, up here with one away. Murphy's delivery on the way, and Catfish goes after the off-speed curve with a wild wave and a miss for strike 1. Let's see, we'll see Steve Klein on Friday. He is 4-3. Stan Bonson will go in the game on Saturday afternoon. Bonson with his problems, he is 1-6. Pitch to Hunter, low and away, the count is 1-1. Then Mel Stottlemyre will pitch the concluding game on Sunday against the Angels, and Mel, for the year, has won 4 and lost 2. Make that now 5-2 with his victory tonight. 1-1 pitch by Murph. Swung on and missed. And again, the big swing taken by Catfish Hunter. Want to wish a happy birthday tonight to great Angel fan, to Trula Rogers. And we hope that she's had a most pleasant day on this May 26th. So happy birthday to Trula. Murph concentrates on the 1-2 pitch and fires away. And on the breaking stuff, he foul-tipped it. Catfish Hunter getting a bit of it and rolls it behind the plate. One down, nobody on. A's lead 3-0, last half of the second. With Rudy May to be placed on the disabled list, the 21-day disabled list, the Angels will need help from Salt Lake City. And I know that Lefty Phillips would like to have a left-hander to replace the left-hander, Rudy May. 1-2 pitch. Off the curve, ground ball towards short. Waist-high hop for Santos Alomar, and he guns the throw on to Repose for the out. There are 2 away. And here comes Bert Campaneris. Campy walked, swiped his 15th base of the year in the first inning. And he checked in one of the 3 Oakland runs. For the Angels in that series with New York, they'll begin it with Andy Messersmith on Friday night, Clyde Wright on Saturday, and then Sunday, unless something comes up from the standpoint of acquiring another pitcher, it will either be Archie Reynolds or Lloyd Allen. Pitched by Murphy, and he throws the fastball high for ball one. Most managers in going against that Yankee team would like to be able to use left-handers predominantly against New York. 1-0 pitch, cat foul. Over the shoulder of the plate umpire Deegan, and the count 1-1 on Campaneris. Two-out showing here in the last half of the second. Joe Rudy out of the on-deck spot. Down to our left, and the 1-1 pitch by Murphy. Campaneris to the ground ball. Murphy stabs this one off one hop, and the toss to repose for the out. So he handles him in the infield. Green, Hunter, and Campaneris in that fast order, and the score at the end of 2. No change. Oakland 3, the Angels nothing. Say it's getting to be vacation time once again, and how about thinking in terms of Hawaii for your vacation jaunt? Certainly not a bad place to unwind. A great place indeed, and of course, that's why you should go there on Continental Airlines, because Continental gives you plenty of leg room to relax and stretch out. First-class leg room for all their coach and economy passengers on every flight. And that is all Continental gives you on your way to Hawaii. You'll dine on famous down-the-beachcomber food and really get into the mood for the islands with a special Hawaiian atmosphere Continental has created for you. And I guess that's what they mean when they talk about going to Hawaii with love. With Continental Airlines, the proud bird with a golden tail. That's my brother. For a very short period of time, my brother and his wife Norma, they're going to be flying the proud bird of the Pacific and heading for Hawaii, and I certainly hope that they do just that they go to Hawaii with love and thoroughly enjoy the trip. And I know that Continental will certainly make them feel very much at home. Well, it's going to be Hot Pants Day. We talked about that. This first ever event in the history of baseball will take place on Camera Day. Well, that's really the proper combination. You get Camera Day and Hot Pants Day all in one day. It's going to be held here on June 27th. The A's against Kansas City, and the Charlie Finley message board reads, fashion show and 2 orchestras. Xavier Cugat may be one of them, I don't know. But Hot Pants Day and Camera Day on June 27th here at the Oakland Coliseum. Well, let's see what happens in the third. And the man who made the initial announcement, the bulletin information last night about Hot Pants Day coming up here at the Oakland Coliseum is going to come on right now, Dave Niehaus. David?
Thank you, Don. Again, good evening, everybody. The first pitch to Murphy is over the outside corner for a strike. Hunter is right back to the plate with a slider this time over the inside edge. So quickly, the catfish has established himself. No balls and 2 strikes. The count on Tom Murphy. A 3-0 ball game. Oakland leads it. We're in the top of the third. The catfish right back to the plate. The slider grounded toward shortstop. Charged by Campaneris. Down with it. Throws. Got it. So Murphy is erased. The Angels with 2 base hits. A single by Alex Johnson in the first, and then the double by Tony Conigliaro. Oakland 3 runs on only 1 base hit, but it was Murphy's wildness that hurt him in the first. He walked Campaneris and Rudy. He then hit Reggie Jackson on a 3-0 pitch. Mike Epstein hit a sacrifice fly into just about straight away center field, but Ken Berry not able to throw the ball to third, and then Rudy took third on the play. Jackson at first, stole second, and then the ground ball rammed into the hole by Bando, picked up 2 more, and just like that, Oakland had 3. Here's Sandy Alomar. Hunter's pitch to him there for a strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Sandy lined out to left fielder Joe Rudy his first time up. Sandy going 0-for-7 last night after that 4-for-4 performance Sunday afternoon against the Chicago White Sox. So he is 0-for-8 in the series. Hitting 205. The pitch to him is popped up on the left side. May not be a play. There will not be a play. So Hunter, again, and this has been his success story so far. Keeping ahead of the hitters, keeping right around the plate. He has only walked 3 men in the last 3 games. And a count, no balls and 2 strikes on Sandy Alomar. The tall Hertford right-hander throws, and the pitch is a sinker just outside and low. A ball and 2 strikes on Sandy. After 2 down in Los Angeles, the Giants lead Los Angeles 2-1. After 2 pulls. Hunter's 1-2 pitch to Sandy Alomar, flared foul right back below it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Don had pointed out, the A's just chewing up all opposition in the West. 21-7 against Western opponents. They are 5-0 against Milwaukee, 4-0 against the Angels, 4-1 against the Minnesota Twins, a club that has given them so much trouble in the last couple of years. Alomar hits a 2-hopper toward short. Campaneris gets a tricky hop and can't play it. This one hit right off the edge of the infield turf and took a low bounce to Bert Campaneris, and we'll see how they scored. So Alomar is at first base with 1 out. That'll bring up Roger Repose. It'll be scored as an error on Campy Campaneris. Took a wicked hop on Campy. Repose, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Say be sure to see the Small Car Expert, your Southern California Datsun dealer, for a free copy of the informative booklet, How to Buy a Small Car. That's your Southern California Datsun dealers. The stretch by the Catfish. The pitch to Repose, slow curve, high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So the Angels with a mighty bitter pill to swallow last night, working 3 hours and 35 minutes. And they lose at 7-5 on Reggie Jackson's 2-run home run in the 13th. Pass along our best wishes to Mrs. Reggie Jackson. As you heard the postgame show last night, she hears all of our broadcasts in Mesa, Arizona on KMND. There goes the runner Alomar. The throw through to second base. They won't get him, as the throw was on the first side of second base. And the shortstop, Bert Campaneris, had to dive over Sandy Alomar, and Santos has a stolen base. For Sandy, his 11th stolen base of the year, and he is second in that department in the American League, too. To throw down to second base, Bert Campaneris. So Alomar in scoring position with 1 man away to count on Roger Repose, a ball and a strike. Long travel day tomorrow. The Angels arriving in New York around 8:30 New York time. And then nighttime action on Friday, day games Saturday and Sunday. The stretch pitch to Repose swung on, ground ball off the glove of the pitcher Hunter to second baseman Dick Green. Throw to first in time, and on the play, Alomar takes third. So for the second straight inning, the Angels have advanced the man as far as third base. And with 2 outs, here's the axe, Alex Johnson. Alex with a line drive base hit his first time up into left field. Alex out of the lineup for the last couple of days. And if you haven't heard the news, then you're going to be reading all about it in your different papers tomorrow. It was Alex who contacted Lefty Phillips this morning about 11 o'clock and requested a conference with him. They met for an hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours, and after it was all over, it was decided that the axe would be back in the lineup. And thus he is. Alomar walking away from third. The pitch to Johnson. Swing and a miss. This went up around his eyes. Alex, I believe, tried to hold up, but he couldn't. He'd gone too far around. Alex with tremendous wrist. Strong young man. 0-1. And the pitch to him. Fastball cued off the end of the bat out in front of the plate. Off the chaser to Dave Duncan. Goes to first base in time. And Johnson hustling toward first. So that'll do it for the Angels. In the third, no runs. No hits, and A's error. That on shortstop Bert Campaneris and a man left. At 2.5, Oakland 3, and the Angels nothing.
In this following commercial, we will not use the persuasive power of sex to sell the Datsun 510 sedan because it's a car for the family. Of course, if you happen to have a sexy family.
The car for the family of man is what Datsun 4-door sedan is.
If you love your feet, put them in a Datsun. It fits all feet.
It's kind of like an automotive dust spot.
There's nothing more fitting than a Datsun 4-door sedan. Doing it in a Datsun gets it done.
The Datsun 510 sedan does its job and never complains. With unflagging devotion to your family, it will love you like a son. A Datsun.
Drive a Datsun, then decide.
See the full line of Datsuns at Auto Expo International, Sports Arena, May 28th through June 6th.
Move along now to the bottom half of the third inning, a 3-0 ball game. Oakland leading the Angels. Left fielder Joe Rudy, right fielder Reggie Jackson, and first baseman Mike Epstein in that order against right-hander Tom Murphy. Murphy, after having all kinds of control problems in the first inning, getting the A's 1, 2, 3 in the second. Rudy, who has won for his last 22, but he's a very confident young man, says that he knows no matter how bad he's going to stay for a while, he's going to jump out of it very soon, and that manager Dick Williams will stay with him. He bunts the ball up toward third. It's a good one. They let it roll fair, foul. This one hit the edge of the infield turf, right where it is cut out along the foul line, and at the last moment, just barely veered off into foul territory. Almost a perfect bunt by Joe Rudy. So the count 1 strike on the likable left fielder. Rudy hitting .237 with 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. The A's with the home run barrage last night, 2 by Dave Duncan, 1 by Reggie Jackson that won it. And, of course, a 3-run shot by Dick Green had 4. The Angels had a pair themselves, and the A's lead the American League in the power department in home runs with 44 now. Murphy is ready. And the 1-strike pitch. Rudy swings through a slider and foul tips it. 0-1. Second game warm-ups down in San Diego. Doubleheader. The Larry Dierker for the Houston Astros against Al Santorini for the San Diego Padres. The Astros winning the first game 2-1. Murphy ready to go to work on Rudy. Things his way, 2 strikes. Here she comes. Fastball tapped toward third. Tough play for McMullen, but it veers off foul. So the count remains 2 strikes on Joe Rudy. Andy Messersmith Friday against the Yankees, Steve Klein. Saturday, Clyde Wright against Stan Bonson. And then Sunday, who knows? It depends on what General Manager Dick Walsh and Manager Lefty Phillips decide on who will take the place of Rudy May. May to be placed on the 21-day disabled list after a conference this morning between Manager Phillips and General Manager Walsh and Dr. Robert Kurland in Los Angeles on Rudy May's condition. The 2-strike pitch to Rudy. Swung on, ripped toward third. Out of the reach of the diving Ken McMullen down into the left field corner. Here is Rudy around first. On his way to second, Johnson up with the ball, and Rudy has a stand-up double. McMullen diving for the ball going between the bag and Ken. Just couldn't get his glove on it, and this one rolled all the way down into the open bullpen down the left field line. So the A's with a leadoff double threaten to get more, leading by a score of 3-0. Here is Reggie Jackson. Measures Jackson, Epstein, and Vandal in that order. You can just imagine what the spirit is on this Oakland A's ball club. It is phenomenal. And by definition, it always is on a club that's going as well as Oakland right now. Alomar is sneaking in behind Rudy at second base, back to his position, and the pitch to Jackson is buzzed right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Plate umpire is rookie Bill Deegan. Deegan giving the heave-ho to manager Lefty Phillips for the first time in his managerial career last night here at the Coliseum. Time call. It was on a very questionable play. In the 11th inning, a ball hit by Roger Repos to Dick Green in the throw to first. Lefty Phillips thought pulled the first baseman off the bag. Stretch. And a 1-strike pitch to Jackson. Swing and a miss on a change, and beautifully thrown by Tom Murphy. 0-2. Jackson way out in front of it. 2 strikes on Jackson with Rudy at second base. Nobody out. 3-0 Oakland as we are in the bottom half of the third. From the Coliseum, the Angels to New York, Oakland to Boston. After this evening's ball game, Murphy is ready. Long hesitation. Time call as Jackson is tired of waiting, and he steps back out. Deegan with his hands on his hips, staring at Reggie, and said, "Now, are you ready, Mr. Jackson?" Jackson, not yet. He's back in. Murphy again at the stretch position. The 2-strike pitch, way inside. Jackknifes out of the way. Jackson does. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just 2,868 here last evening. A bigger crowd than that this evening, but not that much. It's been cold and chilly and drizzly all day in the Bay Area. Rudy away from second. Alomar sneaks in back behind him. The throw through to second base, not in time, and this one hit Rudy, I believe, in the back of the leg, and he is writhing in pain. He is up trying to walk it off. Hit Rudy in the right leg. So time is called, and the A's trainer and manager Dick Williams will go out to confer with Rudy. On the count, the pickoff play at second base, Murphy wheels and throws blindly, getting the signal from the catcher, Johnny Stevenson. Alomar is sneaking in behind Rudy, and the throw was right on the money, and as Rudy slid back in, he got it on the back of the right leg. And hobbling now, he is walking it off between second and third as he approaches the second base bag. The count 1-2 on Reggie Jackson, and Rudy is all right. Relatively close play at second base, although Rudy had the throw beaten. The throw was low and into the runner. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Reggie. Angel infield straight away, the outfield deep, and the pitch is foul right up into the power alley of Jackson back behind the screen, 1-2. And again, Sandy Alomar trying to sneak in behind Joe Rudy at second base. A ball and 2 strikes. Mike Epstein waiting on deck. Murphy likes the one that he gets. The side. The 1-2 pitch to Reggie. Way inside, almost hit it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reggie hitting .274 with 8 home runs, 22 RBIs. Jackson was hit by a Murphy breaking pitch his first time up on the foot to load the bases with nobody down. Murphy's 2-2 pitch. Change got him swinging. Strike 3. So Tom pulled the string on Reggie Jackson, and Jackson is down on strike. For Murphy, that is his first strikeout of the evening, and that'll bring up Mike Epstein. Epstein, his last time up, hit a high fly ball into straightaway center field. Ken Berry caught it. Coming into the score on the play was Bert Campaneris at third, but the big play, Rudy at second base, went from second to third. And then after Jackson had stolen second, Bando picked up both Rudy and Jackson with a base hit into the hole. A 3-0 ball game. Epstein waits at the plate. Murphy's pitch to him. Fastball just under the letters inside. 1 ball and no strikes. To Mike Epstein. It was a mighty happy young man to come back to the Bay Area. Of course, everyone familiar with his football and baseball exploits at the University of California at Berkeley. Rudy again a cautious lead at second. Murphy at the belt, the pitch outside, change. 2 balls and no strikes. After 3 in Los Angeles, San Francisco 2, Los Angeles 1. After 3. It's been all Bay Area publicity as far as the baseball situation is concerned in the National and the American League West so far after 1 quarter of the season. The stretch. 2-0 pitch to Epstein. Steve right over the inside corner. 2-1. Almost identical records by both the A's and the San Francisco Giants, with Oakland winning 31 and losing 15, and the Giants winning 31 and losing but 13. So if you had them in the same division, only 1 game would separate them in the games behind column. The Giants leading in that department. Stretch. Epstein waits at the plate. This is a 3-1 pitch. Fastball flared foul. Back out of play off the third baseline. 3 balls and 2 strikes. When hitting off the facade of the second deck and bouncing into the second deck with a lot of English. 3-2. Catfish Hunter, the A's pitcher this evening, the leader on the A's staff last year in wins with 18, and he also led the club in strikeouts with 178. Murphy at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Epstein looks at a change low. 3-2. Wind blowing from right to left field. Pretty good clip. The A's pennant, the California state flag, and the American flag in dead center field. Straight out from their staff. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rudy at second base. One man away. The pitch to Epstein. Fastball ripped foul outside first behind first base coach Jerry Lumpy. And this one trickling all the way down into the Angels bullpen down the right field line. So the count remains the same. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mike Epstein. The A's have some personnel that will be involved with military duty, as do most ball clubs before the season is over during the summer. Weekend military commitments and also some 2-week commitments, a stretch. And here she comes to Epstein. Swung on it. A deep drive to right field, way back to have a look. It's the right fielder trying to connect the arrow, but it's gone. Hits the pay station. It is now a 5-0 ball game as the big ex-California Bear touches them all. A line drive into the right field corner. This one not of the high variety at all. Just a screaming Mimi into the first row of box seats. A 2-run blast that clears the stacks. The 5-0 game, and here is Sal Bando. Bando is first time up. A 2-run scoring single. Murphy's pitch to him. The slider outside and low. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. So the A's jump out in front by a handful, 5-0 against right-hander Tom Murphy. Murphy has experienced his problems throughout his career with this A's ball club, having a record of 1-5 and an ERA of over 7. The 1-0 pitch now to Bando. There's the strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. St. Louis Cardinals continue to play excellent baseball as they defeat the Chicago Cubs 9-4. Winter Taylor, he is now 1-0. Kenny Holtzman took the loss. He is 2-5. Bando looks at a fastball low. Actually, a changeup. Wasn't that fast as Murphy pulled the string. 2 balls and a strike on Sal. The A's 5 runs, 3 hits. The Angels no runs on 2. Murphy into the wind and the 2-1 pitch fouled it off. This one back behind the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still only 1 man down. Reggie Jackson struck out. The leadoff double by Rudy after Jackson struck out. The line drive home run by Mike Epstein, his 4th of the year. And for Epstein now, he has 3 of the 5 runs to his RBI total tonight, and he has 18. Wind up by Murph. The 2-2 pitch. Bando swings and sends a high 1-hopper to third. Ken McMullen throws low, but dug out nicely by first baseman Roger Repose. So Bando is retired. 2 down. That'll bring up Rick Mundy. And before Rick steps in, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
KMND-FM, Mesa, Arizona, 1 minute after 9 o'clock.
Rick Mundy, who popped out to shortstop Sandy Alomar his first time up, steps in with the A's leading at 5-0. Murphy into the wind, and the pitch to the Santa Monica native is inside. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes, 2 men down. The big blow, Mike Epstein's 4th home run of the year. A line drive over the right field fence. Murphy nods yes to Johnny Stevenson. Euclid, Ohio right-hander just standing stoically on the mound. Now goes into the wind, and the 1-0 pitch. Mundy rips it foul outside first. 1 ball and 1 strike. A week from Sunday, we hope that everybody, and we know they will, has a great time at the Southern California Sports Broadcasters Golf Tournament that KMPC Director of Sports Fred Hessler is heading up. That will take place at the beautiful course down in Orange County at Mission Viejo, and we know that everybody that attends is just going to have a wonderful day, so we wish you all that. The 1-1 pitch. Mundy swings a high chopper towards second. Backing up on the ball is second baseman Sid O'Brien, and he throws out Rick Mundy. So the A's retired in the 3rd, but not before they pick up a pair on Mike Epstein's 4th home run of the year after Joe Rudy had doubled. 2 runs on a couple of hits, no errors, and nobody left. And after 3, Oakland 5, and the Angels nothing.
Does F310 work? 297 cars, representing California's total car population, tested Chevron gasoline with F310 for 2,000 miles. Here are comments some of the participants made after the test. Mr. Gustav Malman.
Well, it was just like I had a tune-up in the car. It ran smoother and it performed better.
Lynn Stanley.
That the engine didn't die near as often, and of course we felt like that there was quite an improvement in its running quality.
Mrs. Grace Beal.
When I would start the car, just billows of black smoke would come out of it. But when I used the F310, that really didn't happen.
Not all cars in the test showed emission reductions. However, projecting the F310 test results for the group as a whole to all cars in the 8 western states, emissions compared to levels before F310 would be reduced by almost 1,500,000 tons per year. F310. It works.
Catfish Hunter, in quest of his 9th straight victory, has the big 5 to work with. As we go into the 4th inning of play, it'll be Johnny Stevenson, Ken McMullen, and Tony Conigliaro against the veteran right-hander from Hereford, North Carolina. Great sportsman in the off-season, likes to hunt, fish, and he's a farmer down in Hereford. And just as down to earth as Hereford, North Carolina is when you talk to the Catfish. And the pitch to Stevenson, line drive foul. Epstein trying to one-hand the ball, going up the ladder down the first baseline. Stevenson hit it right on the button, but pulled it foul by about 2 or 3 feet. So the count 1 strike on the Angel receiver. McMullen to follow. Stevenson his first time up with Alex Johnson at first base, and 2 outs popped up. The second baseman, Dick Green. And, of course, last night having his 15-game hitting streak stopped. The 1-strike pitch inside. Fastball by Hunter. 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be good to take a look at the 3 ball clubs that the Angels have not played so far this year. On this eastern swing, the fastball to Stevenson, again, is high and inside. 2 balls and a strike. That would be the Yankees, Boston, Washington. New York, 8.5 games back of the pace-setting Boston Red Sox, and the swung on ground ball, base hit into right field by Stevenson. So Stevenson has a line shot into right to lead off the 4th for the Angels. Down his first base hit of the evening. That'll bring up Ken McMullen. The Boston Red Sox continue to lead that American League East race by 2 games over Baltimore. Detroit had their 7-game winning streak snapped tonight at the expense of New York. McMullen at the plate. Stevenson at first, with nobody down. A 5-0 ball game. Oakland in the 4th. Catfish Hunter at the belt. The pitch to Max swung on, high fly ball foul down the right field line. Over to have a look is Epstein, but he'll run out of room as this one is 5 or 6 rows deep. Well, fans have the entire baseball season at your fingertips, and we've only played a quarter of the season. Don't forget that. You can get the rest of the season, get it all at once, and find out what's happening in the final 3 quarters by picking up your official pocket schedule, and it is available free at your standard station or Chevron dealer. Pitch to McMullen is high and tight. 1 ball and 1 strike on Max. The A's now have hit a home run in at least their last 8 games, 8 consecutive games. A big rip and a miss by McMullen. 1-2. Epstein's home run was just the rope variety. Just overpowered a Murphy fastball and rifled it down the right field line over the wall. Into the seats. 1 ball and 2 strikes to McMullen. Swung on, popped up behind home plate, but this one will come back out of play right below it. So the count moves along to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ken McMullen. The Angels will have to make a decision as to who will be called up to replace Rudy May while he is on that 3-week disabled list, 21-day disabled list. The Angels field, Dr. Curlin fields, the stretch pitch on the way to McMullen, swung on, fly ball, straight away center field. Coming in a hurry is Mundy. Out goes the shortstop, and the left fielder Rudy calls at the last moment, and flying out from underneath his cap makes the catch. So McMullen skies out to Joe Rudy in left. That'll bring up Tony Conigliaro. Dr. Curlin feels that May will be able to pitch after he gives that elbow rest. And actually, they are more concerned with the left elbow than they are the fractured right wrist. Rudy coming up with a sore elbow, trying to brace himself on the fall. Has some calcium deposits, as most pitchers do. In their careers, they develop calcium deposits in the elbow of their pitching arm. The stretch pitch now to Tony C. Rip foul. Conigliaro with a double into right center field his last time up. has 11 to lead the club in that department. 1 strike. So we wish Rudy well. He takes advantage of the 21 days for a complete rest. 0-1. And the pitch on the way to Tony C. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Five to nothing. 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. The A's picking up 3 runs on Murphy's wildness in the first inning. Back-to-back walks to Campaneris and Rudy. Jackson, a hit batsman, the stretch. Here she comes to Tony C. Watches it float outside and low. 2 balls and a strike. Then Mike Epstein hitting a high fly ball into straightaway center field. That scored Campaneris, but Rudy at second base taking third easily as the throw came into the cutoff man. The second baseman, Sid O'Brien, strike. To Tony C, a slider over the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right back to the plate comes the Catfish and a ground ball towards short. Campaneris to second for 1. Green's relay to first, a double play. So Conigliaro bouncing into a quick DP from Campaneris to the second baseman Dick Green on to first baseman Mike Epstein. And the Angels are gone in the 4th. No runs, a base hit. No errors, nobody left after 3 1/2. Oakland 5 and the Angels nothing.
There's one word on the Budweiser label that sometimes makes people do a double take. Rice. They ask, what's with this rice? I thought beer was brewed with hops. Sure it is. But rice is important in brewing Budweiser. It's one of the things that makes Budweiser, Budweiser. Without it, Bud wouldn't be the king of beers. There are a lot of things besides rice, of course, that make Budweiser the largest selling beer in the world. Beechwood aging, for instance. A label that tells you like it is, and has been for years and years. And you, the Budweiser drinkers who know a really great beer when you taste one. Or to put it simply, when you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Budweiser, you said it all.
After 3 1/2, the Angels 5 down. 5 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Oakland A's. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Angels. This is Dave Niehaus, Don Wells, Dick Enberg, our producer-engineer Dick Nelson. Don't forget that our broadcast time on Friday evening from Yankee Stadium will be 4:40 when Andy Messersmith faces Steve Klein of the Yankees. As we go to the home half, here's Dick.
Thank you, Dave. They call them the Swingin' A's this year, and swing they are, and they're connecting. They lead 5-0 as they try to sweep this abbreviated 2-game series. Murphy's pitch to Duncan is swung on and fouled. Back to third base coach Herb Noren. And the ball girl down in the left field corner gets a hand as she makes the play. 2 very attractive young ladies, I will guess around senior high school age, and they position themselves beyond the dugout and help to save time by collecting the foul balls hit out near the bullpen. Murphy staring down to get the sign from John Stevenson. Into the windup, the right-hander. Here's the pitch. Curve swung on a long drive foul way back in the left field corner. That's in the mezzanine level and skips back downstairs. 2 strikes to Duncan. Dave ripped one down the line his first time up. It hit the bag, bounded in the air. McMullen reached behind him and fielded the ball barehanded and then threw to first in the same motion to get Duncan. Outfield playing him deep toward left. Wine, 2-strike pitch. Inside with a fastball. The infield of McMullen, Alomar, O'Brien, and Repose. Johnson in left. Berry in center. Conigliaro in right. John Stevenson behind the plate, and 25-year-old Tom Murphy on the mound. He's 2-6 on the year, and he trails 5-0 here in the bottom of the 4th tonight. Change, swung on and missed, and Murphy's 2 strikeouts have come on that straight change. Dick Green grounded to short his first time up. Green, one of the villains last night, as he hit a 3-run home run in the 7th inning to pull the A's back into a tie when Clyde Wright and the Angels led 4-1. Green telling us tonight before the ballgame he was amazed that his ball cleared the fence. He thought maybe it might be a double. He takes a strike, but he never thought it would go all the way. He said, that was the left center field, and I won't hit many out in the gap. But the ball carried tremendously well, and most of the players feel that they used a little livelier baseball last night. One strike pitch. Outside with a fastball. The ink stamp on the baseball that presents the make of the ball and the signature of American League President Joe Cronin. Some are in a blue ink, some in a green ink. The pitch. Fouled into the glove of Stevenson, 1-2. Clyde Wright has said all season long that the balls marked with green ink are livelier, tighter wrap. Seams are closer to the rest of the ball than the blue ink baseballs. And in doing just a quick survey, Wright's point was well taken. A high hopper to second. O'Brien charges the ball. It goes under his glove into center field. Green's going to try for a double. Alomar throw to second, and Green's a goner. He was out by 15 feet. The ball going under O'Brien, but Alomar alertly backing up the play, raced out into shallow center field, whirled through back to O'Brien covering, and Green is out. The ruling on the play, not as yet announced whether or not he does get a single under O'Brien's glove, and then Green is out 6-4, trying to stretch it. So two-away going on, and here's Jim Hunter. He swings and taps one off the hands to short. It's Alomar who fields and throws him out easily by 35 feet, and the A's are gone in the fourth inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and no one left. And after 4 innings of play at the Coliseum in Oakland on a cool, clear night, it's the Oakland A's 5, the California Angels nothing. Well, the Oakland A's would tell you the best way for a ball club to have a good season is get off to a good start. And the same kind of a good start on Continental Airlines can make your Hawaiian vacation a real winner. Come aboard one of Continental's 747 air cruises or 707 fan jets and settle back with first-class legroom in coach and economy. Soon your lovely hostess will bring you all those good things to eat and drink from Don the Beachcomber. That's right, Don the Beachcomber food available on all Continental flights to Hawaii, and only on Continental. In first class, well, you get hors d'oeuvres, a Beachcomber seafood course, and then your choice of a delicious Beachcomber entree or Continental's own prime rib from the cart. Great Beachcomber specialties in coach and economy, too. With Continental, well, it's a matter of pride. Continental 747 air cruises leave every day from Los Angeles at 10 a.m. and 12:20 p.m. So see your travel agent, our partner in getting things done for you. Or phone Continental Airlines and fly to Hawaii with love. After 4 innings of play, the totals: Oakland 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. The Angels no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. And leading off the Angel 5th inning against Catfish Hunter is Sid O'Brien. He grounded to the first baseman Epstein. He cued one off the end of the bat his first time out. Hunter, the right-hander, winds the pitch. Ground ball toward the hole. Campaneris hit backhanded. It's into left field for a base hit. So O'Brien finds the gap between Bando and Campaneris for the 4th Angel hit. They've had a base runner in every inning. And that brings up Ken Berry. Berry grounded to second, his only at bat. Ken starting tonight at 179. Archie Reynolds, who has thrown on 3 different occasions in the Angel bullpen, is tuning up once again, and apparently Tom Murphy will be lifted for a pinch hitter here in the 5th inning, and Reynolds will work the bottom half of the 5th. Yes, Tony Gonzalez into the on-deck circle. This one is fouled back weakly. And a nice catch made. In the first inning, Johnson singled with 2 outs. Canigliaro with a 1-out double in the second. Fastball inside under the hands of Berry. 1-1. Alomar safe on an error in the 3rd and stole his 11th base. Stevenson led us the 4th with a single, and now O'Brien with a leadoff single in the 5th. The pitch on the corner, inside edge, 1-2. A fastball taken by Ken Berry. Bando bag high at 3rd. Campaneris and Green, the double play combination, looking for a chance to turn it over, and Epstein playing behind the runner at 1st. Just missed with a slider, did Hunter. It's 2-2 to Ken Berry. In the outfield, they play Berry straight away. Rudy in left, Mundy in center, Jackson in right. Duncan behind the plate gives the target. The 2-2 pitch. Berry swings and fouls it away.
scores in the American League. Minnesota beat Milwaukee 4-1. The White Sox 7, Kansas City 2. The Yankees slowed down Detroit after the Tigers had won 7 in a row. 2 runs in the 8th for the Yankees in a 2-1 win. The 2-2 pitch. High with a fastball. Barry had to hold back. 3-2. And the two top clubs in the East, Baltimore and Boston, both won tonight by identical scores, 3-2. The Orioles defeating Cleveland and Boston over Washington. 3-2 the count to Barry. The pitch. Inside, and Barry walks. The first base on balls from Catfish Hunter. And for the first time, the Angels have 2 base runners in an inning. And here's Tony Gonzalez batting for Tom Murphy. Left-handed hitter. Hit the ball hard as a pinch hitter last night, but right at the shortstop, Campaneris. Tony, used almost exclusively as a pinch hitter, has been up 24 times with, checked out 31 times with 6 hits, a 194 mark. O'Brien at second, Barry at first. No one out in the 5th inning, and the A's lead 5-0. Hunter with that little short set at the belt. The pitch. Change is high. Ball 1. Some interesting contrast in the pitchers in the American League and how they take their stretch with men on base. Hunter has about an abbreviated a stretch as anyone. The pitch. Fouled out of play off to the left behind the Oakland dugout. Hunter will just raise his hands hardly more than a wrist action and then settle them at the belt. Some pitchers will go way over their head and then draw their hands down to the belt. Jim Palmer will start very high and then stop off the right shoulder and pitch. Set as Hunter. He double checks the runners. 1-1 pitch. Swung on a looper to left. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Rudy charges and plays it on a hop, and O'Brien will hold at third. The bases are loaded on a Texas League single by Gonzalez to left field. So a single by O'Brien, a walk to Barry, and a pinch hit for Gonzalez, who looped one over short. And the Angels have a halo over every base, and Sandy Alomar will bat from the top of the list. That rings the bell in the Oakland bullpen. Although the A's lead 5-0, Dick Williams not taking any chances, and both a right and a left-hander begin to throw in a hurry. Ron Klimkowski, a right-hander, and Jim Rowland, a left-hander, begin to throw. O'Brien at third, Barry at second, Gonzalez at first, and Alomar line to left and was safe on Campaneris' error. Takes the fastball on the outside corner. Strike 1. The young shortstop of the Giants, Chris Spire, has just hit his second home run of the season, both against Los Angeles. It came in the 5th inning going on. So the score in Dodger Stadium now, Giants 3, Los Angeles 1 in the top of the 5th. Alomar batting left-handed against the Catfish. Hunter winds, kicks and deals. Swung on ground ball to deep short. Campaneris knocks it down, throws to second, and gets one. Gonzalez out on the 4th. That's a base hit without a runner at first. The run scores, and moving to third is Ken Berry. It's a 5-1 ball game as Alomar, who leads the Angels in RBIs, has his 17th. Campaneris reaching far to his backhand in the hole, knocked it down, and then fired on to Green to get the 4th on Tony Gonzalez. Alomar safe on the fielder's choice and credited with the RBI. And here's Roger Repos. Berry and Alomar occupy the corners. The pitch. Foul to the screen. Repos has struck out and grounded to second. So singles by O'Brien and Gonzalez, a walk to Berry, a fielder's choice RBI, and the Angels are on the board in the top of the 5th inning. Hunter had shut them out in 13 consecutive innings this season. Fly ball foul back to home plate. That's going to come into the second level. Well, the man they celebrated at Dodger Stadium last night, they saluted Willie Mays on his 20th anniversary. He went 0 for 2. Well, he's a day late, but the Giants welcome him anyway as he makes the grand tour for the 9th time this year. The 40-year-old Mays has homered again, and it's a 4-1 Giant lead with San Francisco still at that in the top of the fifth inning. That's Gaylord Perry against Claude Osteen. Runners at third and first. One out in the Angel fifth inning, and the count 2 strikes on repos. The pitch. Swung on and fouled. High fastball. Tomahawk back to the screen. We gave you the American League scores. Here's the National League scores. Montreal clobbered Atlanta 11-1. In 12 innings, Philadelphia defeated the Mets 3-2. Pittsburgh on a 5-hitter by Steve Blass shut out Cincinnati 2-0. St. Louis 9, the Cubs 4 a final. We gave you the giant Los Angeles score. First of 2 in San Diego. Houston beat the Padres 2-1 and lead 2-0 after 1 of the nightcap. The pitch. Swung on and missed. A one-handed swing by Repos, and that's a big strikeout as the Angels with a chance to pick up a run on and out, and Repos went after a low fastball. Third strikeout for Catfish Hunter. And here's Alex Johnson. He's 1 for 2. Returning to the lineup after being disciplined by manager Lefty Phillips, and Johnson at his own request talking with Phillips today and asking to be given another chance. A spot now to drive in a run, although it'll take a hit now or an error. Runners at third and first, 2 away. The pitch by Hunter. Swung on and missed. And Alex trying to get 3 runs with a big cut at a fastball. The A's with 3 runs in the first. On 3 walks, a sacrifice fly, a couple of stolen bases, and a single by Bando. The pitch. Swung on and missed. And a lot of heat tossed up there by Hunter on that pitch. 0-2 to Johnson. And then a double by Rudy in the third, followed by Mike Epstein's 4th home run of the year to get the 5. The Angels with 1 here in the top of the 5th. 5-1 the score. 2 strikes to count. Hunter set. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled into the glove of Duncan. Strike 3. So Hunter's bearing down in the 5th inning, strikes out Repos and Johnson, and the Angels settle for 1 run. 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. And at the halfway mark in this one, 4.5 innings in the book. The score, Oakland 5, the Angels 1. Say fans, the second Little League night at Anaheim Stadium is scheduled for Wednesday, June 30th, when the Angels return home and meet the Kansas City Royals. There'll be another pregame drawing for 6 Angels team sponsorships in 1972. Special reserve tickets for this event are on sale now at Little League Field in Santa Ana, Tustin, Orange, Huntington Beach, Westminster, Fountain Valley, Midway City, Villa Park, Stanton, and Irvine. That's Little League night on June the 30th, and the Angels again, in the drawing, will sponsor 6 Little League teams on that night for the next year, 1972. So we hope to see you, the Angels in Kansas City, Wednesday night, June the 30th. Archie Reynolds relieves Tom Murphy in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Reynolds will face the top of the Oakland order, Campaneris, Rudy, and Jackson. Murphy in 4 innings allowed 5 runs on just 4 hits. He walked 3 men, all in the first inning, and all of them scored. And he struck out 2. Reynolds will try to keep the A's in check, and the way they're going to be in check tonight, and hope that the Angels can rally as the A's did last evening. For Archie, this is his 7th appearance since being recalled from Salt Lake City. He's 0-1 with a 4.91 ERA. Campaneris has walked and scored. He also stole his 15th base of the year, and he's bounced back to the mound. Had a nice visit with Vida Blue on the pregame television show tonight, and Vida talking about how he's spending his money. Reynolds' first pitch, fastball fouled out of play down the right field line, sailing back into the empty seat. And Vida using some of his money to help send his twin sisters through college. They're at Grambling, which is near his home, Mansfield, Louisiana, and that is the school that he would have attended had he elected to go on to college. But he signed the pro baseball contract. Outside with a fastball 1-1. Reynolds working on Campaneris. The score is 5-1 in the bottom of the fifth inning here in Oakland. Campy, bat held high off the right shoulder, chokes up on the handle. 1-1 pitch. Check swing, it's low. Houston, after a 2-1 win in the opener at San Diego, and the Padres getting great pitching, lost last night 3-2 on one swing. Doc Edwards, a 3-run home run. They lost 2-1 in the first game and trailed 2-0 after 2 of the nightcap of their 29ers. The pitch, outside, 3-1. They're in the bottom of the fifth inning at Los Angeles. The Giants 4, the Dodgers 1. Off day for travel tomorrow, and we'll open 3 games at Yankee Stadium 4:40 Friday. Ground ball to third. A tough hop for McClellan, but he picks it up and throws him out by a couple of strides. Campaneris getting one out to the third baseman Ken McMullen for the first out as Joe Rudy walks to the plate. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
And this is your power station for all Angels night games, KMND FM stereo in Mesa, Arizona. It's 9:30.
Joe Rudy walked and scored, doubled and scored. Big right-handed hitter from Modesto, an exaggerated close stance. Can't check a swing. On the outside corner with a breaking ball is Archie Reynolds. Rudy with his back foot as far away from home plate as you can get it, and then that front foot, left foot, almost stepping on the inner corner as he turns his back to the pitcher, much like Leo Cardenas of Minnesota. 1 strike pitch. High with a fastball, 1-1. For Oakland, last night's game, a great victory. It's the kind of win when you rally, as the A's did, that keeps you warm all night long. You can't wait to get back to the ballpark. And it had a freezing effect on the Angels. The pitch. Waved at and missed. Slider outside. 1-2, the count to Joe Rudy. Because of the daily exposure, the 162 games, momentum in baseball perhaps more emphasized and felt more by players and fans than in any other sport. The pitch. Strike 3 called. Fastball letter high, outside corner. First strikeout for Reynolds. And with 2 away, here's Reggie Jackson. Jackson walked and scored, and he struck out swinging in the third. It was the 50th time that Jackson has K'd this year. He has been the player to strike out most in each of the last 2 years in the American League. I guess in terms of just the psychological effect of a winning streak or a losing trend, winners continue to look for the guy who's going to win another ball game. Jackson takes it low, and losers tend to look for a way that they're going to lose. That how they're going to get beat tonight. Somebody's going to do something. And it seems simple enough to correct, but 1-1 pitch. Foul back out of play, sails through us, and then down into the second level. The 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. The kind of victory the A's enjoyed last night is exactly the kind of win that the Angels are looking for and have had chances. They've had men on base in the late innings, and they just have not had the men come up and take advantage. 2-1 pitch. Check swing, it'll cost him a strike. 5-1, Oakland leads. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning and 2 outs at the Coliseum in Oakland. A bit cooler than last night, and that's because we had a cloud cover last evening, and tonight clear skies in the Bay. Going on. And Jackson waits the 2-2 pitch. Reynolds sends it up there, and it's a little low. Reynolds thought he had strike 3. Started to walk off the mound. No word yet on who will replace Rudy May. The Angel pitching staff. The best guess is left-hander Andy Hassler, if he is healthy. He had a rib injury earlier this year. 3-2 the count. Reynolds kicks
Jackson deals. Low, ball 4. Jackson jogs to first, where it's game 440 on the Pacific Coast on radio. The Saturday and Sunday games at 10:40 in the morning, and the Sunday game will be televised on KCLA Channel 5 in Los Angeles beginning at 10:30. Rick Monday leads off the bottom of the 6th inning, and here again is Dave.
Thank you, Dick. Again, hello, everybody. It'll be Monday, Duncan and Green against right-hander Archie Reynolds, who has picked up for Tom Murphy, who went the first 4. 5-1 ball game. Oakland leads it. Reynolds' first pitch on the way to Monday is a fastball inside, ball 1. 1-0. Right-hander Lloyd Allen beginning to warm up for the Angels in their bullpen down the right field line. 1 ball and no strikes on Monday. Reynolds' next pitch is a slider inside, ball 2. 2-0. In Los Angeles, the Dodgers scored 2 in the bottom of the 5th. So it is now the Giants 4 and the Dodgers 3. That's after 5. Gaylord Perry for the Giants. Bordeaux's team starting for the Dodgers. Joe Moeller in the 6th. The 2-0 pitch to Monday by Reynolds. Down low, ball 3. 3-0. Reynolds, after getting the first 2 men that he faced, Campanera grounding out to McMullen and striking out Rudy, lost Reggie Jackson. And then Mike Epstein was intentionally fast, and Sal Bando hit a line drive deep into center field that Barry went back on and caught to end the 5th inning. The 3-0 pitch, and there's a strike down the middle, 3-1. Scores of other games in the American League. Minnesota beat Milwaukee 4-1. Young Bert Blyleven picking up his 6th victory of the year. He has lost 4. Skip Lockwood took the loss for Milwaukee. He is 3-4. And the 3-1 pitch to Monday is a high fly ball sliced into left field. Alex Johnson in a hurry near the line, and Alex will run out of room, actually. This one dropping about 5 or 6 feet into foul territory. Shortstop Sandy Alomar going out, too. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We go all the way on Rick Monday. Houston and San Diego's second game. The Astros lead the Padres 2-0. That's after 3. Houston won the first game 2-1. The White Sox knocking off the Kansas City Royals 7-2. Wilbur Wood going all the way for his second complete game of the year. Beat the Angels, you remember, his last time out. Wilbur is 3-2, and all of a sudden he has become a starting pitcher. Mike Hedlund took the loss. He is 4-3. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Rick Monday, a 5-1 ball game. Oakland in the bottom of the 6th. Archie Reynolds trying to dispose of the left-handed batting Monday, and the chunky right-hander's pitch is low, ball 4. So Monday is aboard to lead off the 6th. The Angels have out-hit the A's 5-4, but they're behind by 4, 5-1 in the all-important run column. Take along the sign to Dave Duncan as he steps in. With Monday at first and nobody out. The A's taking all kinds of liberties on Johnny Stevenson behind the plate, and Monday with exceptional speed at first does not go, and the slider is outside. Stevenson had a little trouble with that pitch. 1 ball and no strike. The Yankees beat Detroit 2-1 to snap the Tigers' win streak at 7. Eddie Fisher begins to warm up for the Angels in their bullpen down the right field line. Mel Stottlemyre got the win. He is 5-2. The Angels will see Washington right-hander from the state of Washington, Stottlemyre, on Sunday, the stretch. And here she comes. Duncan went around. 1 ball and 1 strike. Young Mike Kilkenny, just put back on the active list by Detroit about a week and a half ago, absorbed his second loss. He has yet to win this year. Baltimore beat Detroit 3-2. Cuellar picking up his 6th victory of the year. Mike now 6-1. The stretch by Reynolds. The pitch to Duncan, swung on a high fly ball in the shallow right field. Second baseman O'Brien out, but it's right fielder Tony Conigliaro coming on to make the catch. 1 out. Here's Dick Green, who was singled and grounded out to shortstop Sandy Alomar, 1 for 2. Boston, after absorbing a couple of losses at the hands of Ted Williams' Washington Senators, finally beat the Nats 3-2. Ray Culp, the winner, 5-3. Jerry Janeski took the loss. He is 1-4. In the National League, Montreal pounded Atlanta 11-1. Stoneman over Jarvis. Throw to first base, diving back in on his hands and knees is Rick Monday. Throw high to first baseman Roger Repose. In 12, the Phillies beat the Mets 3-2. McGraw over Brandon. Reynolds coming to the plate now, and a pitch out call for, snap throw to first base, but back in plenty of time is Rick Monday. A ball and no strikes account on Dick Green. Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati 2-0. The Cardinals over the Cubs 9-4. And that's the scoreboard. Pitch to Green is outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Dick Green with Monday at first base, 1 man away in the 6th. Our broadcast time Friday from Yankee Stadium, New York. 4:40 Pacific Daylight Time along this network. Andy Messersmith against Steve Klein. And then Saturday morning at 10:40, Clyde Wright is scheduled to oppose Stan Bonson. Count 2-0 on Dick Green, Monday at first. And Monday does not go. The pitch is outside and low, ball 3. 3-0. Reynolds has walked 3 in the 1 1/3 innings that he has worked. Jim Catfish Hunter, an excellent hitting pitcher on deck. And the pitch to Greeny, that's a strike. 3-1. Matter of fact, on occasion, Hunter has been used as a pinch hitter. And he is hitting .333, or he was. Coming into this ball game, he is 0 for 2. 11 for 33 at the plate. And the pitch to Green swung on a high fly ball on the hit and run. As way back near the warning track goes Tony Conigliaro to make the catch, and Monday, 3/4 of the way down to second base, will come back. So 2 down. That'll bring up Catfish Hunter. Twice, he has bounced out to shortstop Sandy Alomar. The Catfish has hit safely in 8 of the 10 games that he has batted in. And at one time, he had a streak of 4 consecutive hits over the span of 2 games. So, very dangerous young man with a bat. A 5-1 ball game. The A's trying to make it 22 victories in 29 tries against the West this year. A phenomenal record. And the pitch to the Catfish fouled away. 0-1. Against the East, they are 10-8, 4-2 against Baltimore, 3-3 against Cleveland, 3-2 against the Tigers, and 0-1 against Washington. That would be the presidential opener. The only game that By the Blue has lost this year. And the pitch. Hunter swings and the bat goes flying out towards shortstop Sandy Alomar. 0-2, he didn't get it. So Hunter, wiping the perspiration off his palms, now goes to some dirt. Doesn't ask for the pine tar rag. 0-2. Looking at the record of the A's so far, Cleveland 3-3 as we mentioned, and they are 3-3 against the Chicago White Sox. Of course, 2 of those 3 losses came on opening day here at Oakland, and the pitch on the way outside and low. As the White Sox that day defeated the A's 2 times. First doubleheader opener in the history of the game. 1-2 on Catfish Hunter. Monday still closeted at first base, held on by Roger Repose, and the slider is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Herb Noren coaching at third. Jerry Lumpy around at first. Campy Campaneros would be next. Reynolds checking with Johnny Stevenson. Here she comes. Fastball low, bounces up to the plate, and a nice stop by Stevenson. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Reynolds, after walking Monday, fell behind Duncan. Duncan was turned loose 3-1, and he flied out to right. Dick Green was turned loose 3-1, and he flied out to right. The count 3-2 on the Catfish. The pitch swung on, ground ball to the right side. There is Sidney O'Brien to gobble it up and throw him out. So the A's turned aside in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. Oakland has stranded 4 through 6 innings, and after 6, the A's 5 and the Angels 1.
Ever see a beer drinker pour his beer real easy down the side of the glass? maybe you do it yourself. If so, the Budweiser Brewmaster thinks you're missing something, especially if you're a Budweiser drinker. Bud is brewed so it will kick up a healthy head of foam. Exclusive beechwood aging and natural carbonation make it a lively brew. Anyway, pouring Bud plunk down the middle of the glass helps bring out the best in that clean white Budweiser foam and real beer aroma. It also helps you get the full benefit of a taste, smoothness, and drinkability you will find in no other beer at any price. In brewing the king of beers, the Budweiser Brewmaster's choice is to go all the way. He hopes you, too, will go all the way to Budweiser, and that you'll pour that beer right down the middle. Atta boy.
When you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
Sid O'Brien to lead it off for the Angels as we move along to the seventh inning of play. A 5-1 ball game. Oakland leads it. The Angels about hit the A's 5-4. O'Brien is 1 for 2. Ground ball base hit his last time up, and he has scored the only Angel run. He'll be followed by Ken Berry, and then the pitcher's spot. Right-hander Jim Catfish Hunter hunting for his 9th consecutive victory. The wind by the right-hander and the slider is outside and low. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Ken Berry. Or rather on Sid O'Brien, Berry on deck. 1-0. And a 1-0 pitch. Fastball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. The Angels with an excellent opportunity in the 5th. They had the bases loaded and nobody out. And they were able to but push across 1 run. And the pitch swung on foul away. 1-2 the count on Sidney. O'Brien grounded out his first time to first baseman Mike Epstein. In the 5th, O'Brien singled, Berry walked, and then Tony Gonzalez, pinch hitting for Tom Murphy, singled. Little looper to left field, a pitch to O'Brien, a high chopper to third baseman Sal Bando, who throws him out. And then Sandy Alomar grounded a ball down to Bert Campaneris, who got the 4th. And then both Roger Repose and Alex Johnson struck out, with Angel runners at the corners. And that was that. And since that time, the Catfish has retired 4 in a row. Matter of fact, he's retired the last 6 in a row. Wind up and the pitch to Berry. Swung on and a drive into deep left center field. Over is Rudy to try to get it, but he can, or does he? No, it is off his glove and goes all the way to the wall. Picked up by the center fielder Mundy, who gets it back in, but by that time, Berry has a stand-up double. A great try by left fielder Joe Rudy, who dove for the ball. Just did go off his fingertips all the way to the 375-foot mark. So Ken Berry has a stand-up double. That'll bring up the pitcher's spot, and Jim Spencer will pinch hit for Archie Reynolds. Spencer still struggling with himself, trying to get out of the throes of the biggest batting slump of his young career. So the left-hander coming on against right-hander Jim Catfish Hunter. The A's bullpen has been busy only once in the ball game. That was when the Angels loaded the bases in the 5th with nobody out. But Hunter managing to work himself out of the jam. For the Catfish, it all started against this California club when he beat them back on the 20th of April, 4-0. And since that time, it has been all uphill. Won 8 in a row. Berry at second base. 1 man away in the 7th. The Catfish to the plate to Spencer. Change there for a strike. 0-1. The scoreboard has 1-0, but plate umpire Bill Deegan came up with the right hand. Hunter at the belt is ready to come to the plate. And does so. Fastball, line drive, right field, sinking in a hurry in front of Jackson. He'll have to play it on a hop. And Berry will only be able to advance to third base, as he had to wait to see if the ball will hold up for the right fielder Jackson, but it didn't. So Spencer, a sinking line drive to right. The Angels with runners at the corners. 1 out. That'll bring up Sandy Alomar. Alomar, who is 0 for his last 10 at bat. So Sandy with a chance to do some damage. The Angels certainly not out of the ball game, down by but 4. They have out-hit Oakland now, 7-4. Right-hander Ron Klimkowski warming up, along with left-hander Jim Rowland, I believe. The stretch and the pitch to Sandy, outside and high, ball 1-0. So the Angels again presented with the opportunity of doing some damage and maybe having Hunter on the verge of leaving the ball game. But it is up to Alomar. The A's looking for two up the middle. Green at second, Campaneris at short, and a line drive over the outstretched glove of second baseman Dick Green. Here is Berry in to score easily. It is a 5-2 ball game, and now the Angels still with runners at first and second and only one out. So Alomar hitting a line drive just out of the reach of the outstretched glove of second baseman Dick Green into right center field. Berry scores. Spencer goes to second base. For Sandy Alomar, his 17th RBI of the year, and he leads the Angels in that important RBI department. The left-hander now warming up is Darrell Knowles, who was acquired from the Washington Senators. Ron Klimkowski is the right-hander, and knuckleballer Eddie Fisher, who lost last night's ball game, starts to warm up for the Angels. Roger Repose. Roger has struck out twice. He has grounded out to second 0 for 3. Roger hitting .273, with 4 home runs, 14 RBIs. At second base is Jim Spencer. At first, Sandy Alomar, only one man away. The Angels have doubled the hit total against the A's, 8-4. Oakland with one error. The Angels have played errorless ball. A stretch by Hunter. Here's the pitch to Raj outside. So Repose represents the tying run at the plate in the top of the seventh. Hunter has been tough when he has had to be. And this is one of those instances. Now, the right-hander steps back off the mound. Catfish Hunter is only 25 years of age. The one-strike pitch to Repose popped up. Foul territory. Back to have a look is Dave Duncan, and the first baseman Mike Epstein out of play. So the count 2 strikes. The one-out double by Ken Berry. Joe Rudy almost made a spectacular catch on the ball. Jim Spencer's line drive into right. And then Sandy Alomar's RBI single just over the outstretched glove of second baseman Dick Green to pick up Ken Berry. It's a 5-2 ball game. Hunter struggling with himself, taking all the time in the world when things are going right, as with most pitchers. They will get the ball and throw it. Now Hunter thinking a lot, and the 2-strike pitch. Strike 3 call. A beautiful changeup thrown to Roger Repose, and Roger knew it. And a big K for right-hander Jim Catfish Hunter. That'll bring along the axe, and before Alex steps in, station identification time. This is the Angels Radio Network.
KMND FM Stereo, Mesa, Arizona. 10 o'clock.
Alex Johnson, who has singled, bounced back to the pitcher, and struck out, stepping in. Against Jim Catfish Hunter with Spencer at second base, Sandy Alomar at first, a 5-2 ball game. The pitch to the axe, fouled back. This against the screen right behind home plate, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count on Alex Johnson. Cautiously at second is Spencer, away from first, not being held on by Epstein, is Sandy Alomar. Hunter comes to the plate, 1 strike, swing and a miss. Slider, beautifully thrown. No balls, 2 strikes on Alex Johnson. Johnson waving the wood back and forth. Hunter ready to come to the plate again. This is his pitch, and the fastball grounded into the hole on the right side and through. Around third is Jim Spencer. Up with the ball is Reggie Jackson. Going to third is Sandy Alomar. It's a 5-3 ball game. So Alex Johnson hitting one into the hole. For Dick Green had gone to second base. Mike Epstein playing behind first. And Alex has his 9th RBI of the year. It's a 5-3 ball game. Spencer scores. Alomar goes to third. And here is Johnny Stevenson. Stevenson, who popped out, singled, and popped out again. Both pop out for the second baseman, Dick Green. But the Angels trying to get off the floor. Very big RBI by Alex. The Angels with the go-ahead run at the plate in the person of Johnny Stevenson. Alomar walking down the line from third. Alex being held on by Epstein at first base. Hunter at the belt. And the pitch to John, swung on, and a deep drive to right field. Jackson, however, back near the warning track, has plenty of room, and he makes the catch. So Stevenson hit it well, but right at right fielder Reggie Jackson. And the Angels are pushed aside in the seventh, but they make it close. In the seventh, 2 runs, 4 base hits, no A's errors, and 2 left. And the Angels have stranded 7 through the 7 innings that they have played. After 6.5, Oakland 5 and the Angels 3. Well, I'm sure you remember the old story about Babe Ruth, the one where he pointed to the bleachers to show exactly where he would hit a home run ball, and then he went right ahead and did it. Kept his promise all right. And keeping promises is a big thing at Continental Airlines, too. Continental promises you a coach or economy seat as wide as first class, and they guarantee it. They're all that wide on all of Continental's 707 and 727 fan jets. Maybe some airlines promise you a wide seat, and then you find it just doesn't happen to be available on the particular flight you're on. Or a handy table that folds down over the middle seat. But then somebody comes and sits in that seat. Well, there's reason enough for specifying Continental Airlines every time you fly. At Continental, keeping promises is a matter of pride. So call Continental, or call our partner in getting things done for you, your travel agent. The proud bird with the golden tail. Look at the scoreboard. It shows the story that the Angels have out-hit the A's 9-4, but they trail in the all-important runs column by 2, 5-3. The big inning for Oakland in the first. Wildness by Tom Murphy's part. The leadoff walks to Campaneris and Rudy. He hit Reggie Jackson. The sacrifice fly by Mac Epstein. And then the 2-run scoring single by Sal Bando gave them 3. And then they scored 2 in the third. The difference in the ball game, the 2 runs. Those 2 in the third, the leadoff double by Joe Rudy, and then the 2-run home run after 1 out by Mike Epstein, a line drive into the right field seat. So a 5-3 ball game. We move to the home half of the 7th here at Oakland, and again for to play, here's Don Wells.
Thank you, Dave. Eddie Fisher becomes the third Angel pitcher. He takes over for Archie Reynolds. Jim Spencer will now be at first base. Jim coming off the bench with a very important pinch single for the Angels. Eddie has won 4 and lost 2. The loser in last night's encounter, ERA of 2.57. He appears in his 19th game and has worked 28 innings, giving up 8 earned runs, walking 9, and striking out 20. And he has served up 4 home runs, and he has a pair of saves. Bert Campaneris doing leadoff duty for the A's here. Campaneris walked and scored in the first inning, then tapped to the mound in the second and grounded the third in the 5th inning. Fisher gets the cap properly adjusted. So Oakland leads 5-3. The Angels trying to come back. And the first delivery of the last half of the 7th, ground ball up the middle, going for it, Sandy Alomar. Near second, picks it off, fires it on to Spencer for the out, and the A's rapidly have one away. Coming up toward the plate now, left fielder Joe Rudy. Joe has scored 2 of the runs. Walked in the first and checked across, doubled and scored in the third on that 2-run homer by Mike Epstein that has given the A's the margin they enjoy right now, 5-3. Then the intentional walk, or the walk given up to Mike Epstein was an intentional walk in the 5th inning and a walk to Reggie Jackson in the 5th inning after Joe Rudy had struck out in the 5th. So Joe is 1 for 2, and the first delivery is a smash to short, picked off by Alomar, waist high on to Spencer again, and there are 2 away. So Alomar takes care of a pair, and the batter will be right fielder Reggie Jackson. The game in Los Angeles, the Dodgers and the Giants are even up 4-4 at the end of 6.5. You notice, too, the Angels Salt Lake City Farm Club tonight in a very tight one. They defeated Spokane 3-2. Dennis Bennett was the winner, Dawson the loser. And Salt Lake City, they usually come up with quite a few hits. They had only 3 to win that game 3-2. First delivery sails away from Stevenson. Spokane had 2 runs, 11 hits. And Salt Lake City, the Angels farm, 3 runs, 3 hits. Bennett the winner, Dawson the loser. Houston, San Diego at the end of 4.5 in their second game. Houston 4, the Padres nothing, and Houston won the first game 2-1. 2 down here as Fisher concentrates on Reggie Jackson. Reggie with an up-to-date batting average of .272. The pitch in for a strike on a late call here by the plate umpire, Deegan, and the count is 1-1. The attendance, that's quite double the count of what we had out here last night. 4,354 on this chilly evening. Pitch is shut on and whack foul back to the screen to make it 1-2. Dodgers failed to score in the 7th inning, so they remain tied 4-4 with the Giants at the end of 7. The The Angels trying to leave the East Bay area a winner before they make that morning trip into New York tomorrow. And it has been all uphill. 1-2 delivery by Fisher. Jackson takes it low. Scooped up by Stevenson, and the count 2-2. Reggie, the man who tied into the knuckleball thrown by Fisher in the 13th inning last night, waylaid it over the left center field wall for the 2-run producing home run that took it away from the Angels. Next delivery is fouled over the screen, and the count is 2-2. And Oakland now with a home run by Epstein. They have 46 home runs this year to lead the American League. Spencer crowded toward the line at first and right back to the cut of the outfield grass. Sid O'Brien midway between first and second and tucked right back to the edge of the grass. Knuckles low and close, ball 3, 3-2. Reggie had hit safely in 6 straight games coming into this evening's play. And 0 for 1 at this point of the action as Jackson, looking back at the plate umpire Deegan, and then turns and walks away from home plate. Deegan is called time. And now Eddie Fisher decides that with Jackson wandering out of there, that he'll force Reggie to do some additional waiting, and Eddie retreats off the rear slope of the mound, turns his back to home plate, rubs up the ball, and now walks up on top again. 3-2 on Jackson with 2 outs and nobody on here in the last half of the 7th inning, and the delivery by the knuckleballer swung on and missed by Jackson for strike 3. So quite a different story. The one we witnessed out here last night on the 13th as Fisher strikes out Jackson with the knuckleball. 1-2-3, that's the story for the Oakland Ball Club. The score at the end of 7, Oakland 5, the Angels 3.
In this world of little people thinking big, there is a big man thinking small.
Your Datsun dealer, the small car expert.
Datsun dealer. Small car, that's a supercar.
The little something two-door sedan, and the something special two-door coupe.
It doesn't really have to be something special. What I want is a good-looking, highly functional piece of machinery.
Oh, well, then you'll love Barbara.
I really love the Datsun. All the features that maybe each of the other small cars have 1 or 2 of. We have them all.
They're all Datsun dealers, and they're all thinking small, standing tall. Drive a Datsun, very small.
See the full line of Datsuns at Auto Expo International, Sports Arena, May 28th through June 6th.
The number 5 batter in the Angel order, Ken McMullen, the third baseman, comes up. Mack is 0 for 3 tonight. He struck out, fly to left field, and grounded out to third. So McMullen will try out Catfish Hunter again as we start off the 8th inning with Oakland leading at 5-3 and the delivery by Hunter. McMullen with a long drive out of the center field. Mundy breaking back, still going back. This ball may go, and you can kiss it goodbye. 5-4 game as Mack makes the circuit. McMullen rounding second, coming to third to be greeted by Rocky Bridges. So the Angels continue to work away here against Catfish Hunter. Ken McMullen with his 7th home run, his 16th RBI, and he hit this to the deep point. Just to the left of the straightaway mark in center field. So that ball had to travel about 390 feet to get out of here. And then off into the movable bleachers out in that portion of deep left center field. Tony Canigliaro is the batter. So Catfish Hunter has been touched up by the home run ball to open the 8th inning. The Angels now have 10 hits. Tony C. popped it up. It's going to be around home plate. Duncan tosses the mask aside about 10 feet away from the plate and then staggers with it, makes the catch. So Tony Canigliaro is gone. 1 pitch. Batter will be second baseman Sid O'Brien. Sid is 1 for 3. Singled and scored in the 5th. Grounded out twice. Say, did you know Continental 747 gives you the most seat room in coach and economy of any 747? Well, that's true with the proud bird with the golden tail. 1 out, a run in. And the pitch. O'Brien swings in a tardy way at the first delivery. Slider thrown by Hunter. Strike 1. For the Angels collecting that home run, that is the 32nd they've managed this year. The opposition has hit 34. And off the bat handle goes the next pitch delivered by Hunter as O'Brien shoves it up into the seats. And the count is 2 strikes. So 32 home runs hit by the Angels, 34 by the opposition off the Angels stand. And 37 home runs given up by the A's pitching staff. Ground ball to the second baseman Green on a couple of hops, and the short toss to Epstein for the out. O'Brien is erased. They're 2 away. Here comes center fielder Ken Berry. Ken got it rolling in the 7th inning with his double. And Rudy made a diving try for it out in left center field, but it got away from him. He eluded Rudy and went all the way to the wall, retrieved by Mundy, and then Jim Spencer came through with a base hit. Sandy Alomar followed with a single. Alex Johnson had a base hit. Alex 2 for 4. Pitch to Berry, and it's a little bit high, ball 1. Alex, the last time he has started for the Angels, went 2 for 4. And tonight he is 2 for 4. Pitch is cut on, popped up. Going to be in short right field. Coming on for it, Reggie Jackson. And Reggie eases out of it, takes care of it. That retires the side. For the Angels, then, after the home run by McMullen on the first pitch delivered by Catfish Hunter, they go meekly as the Catfish takes care of Canigliaro, O'Brien, and Berry. The Angels 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, none left. Score at the end of the top of the 8th, Oakland 5, the Angels 4.
Starting this weekend, there's a whole new way to have fun in California. You begin with the idea of Grand Prix racing. Then put it right in the middle of 200 acres of brand new family fun. Southern California's newest family entertainment world, Magic Mountain, located 35 miles northwest of Los Angeles in Valencia. Magic Mountain, where you'll thrill to a multitude of exciting new rides, attractions, dancing, and top musical and variety acts every night. And especially the Chevron Grand Prix, sponsored by Standard Oil Company of California, where young and old alike can test their road racing skills in the curves, the S-turns, and straightaways, behind the wheel of their own miniature Ferrari-style racer. Magic Mountain opens this Saturday. Why not make it a family outing? Here's how to get there. Take Interstate 5, 35 miles northwest of downtown Los Angeles, to the Chevron Grand Prix at Magic Mountain.
Last half of the 8th inning, and Oakland will face Eddie Fisher with Mike Epstein, Sal Bando, and Rick Mundy. Houston 4, San Diego nothing at the end of 5, and Houston won the first game from the Padres. Eddie Fisher got them out in order in the 7th inning after relieving Archie Reynolds. Archie had worked 2 innings, worked in the 5th and in the 6th, did not allow a hit. There were 3 walks given up by Reynolds. 1 was an intentional pass, and he struck out 1 man. Here's Mike Epstein. Mike with his 4th home run of the year in the 3rd with Joe Rudy aboard. And Mike with a sacrifice fly in the 1st inning. So he now has driven in 18 runs for the year, and then he was intentionally walked last time up. Oakland 5 runs, 4 hits. The Angels 4 runs, 10 hits. The pitch by Fisher. Knuckles over the inside edge of the plate, let her high for a strike to make it 0-1. So Mike's up-to-date batting average. He is 1 for 1 tonight, and he is hitting .263. 1 strike offering. Epstein with a wild one-handed wave on it, strike 2. Nothing and 2 the count. Line by Fish, and he works it to the plate again. He bounces this one up the first base side. Fisher going for the ball, picks it off, makes the toss to Spencer. Epstein with a headlong dive. He plowed a furrow about 15 feet long in trying to go in safely at first base, but Fisher had him by a wide margin. So Mike Epstein just picked up a lot of dirt for nothing as he made that headlong slide in the first base. 1 away. Here's third baseman Sal Bando. Thanks for the coffee, Dave. Tastes pretty good, but it certainly doesn't beat that clam chowder over in Fisherman's Wharf, does it? Here's a delivery by Fisher on the way to Bando, and this one zigzags its way too low for ball 1. Turned Dave and Dick Nelson loose over at Fisherman's Wharf today. Dick was kind enough to be our chauffeur as we went over to San Francisco this morning for some commercial work for Standard Oil. Checks on the knuckles and takes it a little bit outside. Count 2-0.
Poor guy.
Dick Nelson is. He's not only the nation's innkeeper, but he is the nation's tour guide. Pitch by Fish. Knuckles and worms its way right out of Stevenson's glove and rolls over to the on-deck man, Rick Mundy. 3-0 on Sal Bando. Bando with a base hit, 2 RBIs in the first. Grounded out in the third, line to center field in the fifth. 5-4 Oakland, last of the eighth. So the Angels have one more chance to try to complete their comeback. They'll be right down to the pitcher's spot in the ninth inning. Knuckleball, and there's a strike. 3-1. Eddie winds, and the 3-1 offering is swung on him, missed. And it works its way out of the mitt of John Stevenson again, the count 3-2. Ed works to him again, the 3-2 offering, right back with a knuckleball, and it skips away from Stevenson, coming behind the plate with Bando, trotting up the line to first base. Sal walks with a man out, and the batter will be center fielder Rick Mundy. Rick is 0 for 2. So Eddie has walked his first man to go with the one strikeout he has recorded, and he is not allowed a hit. Facing 5 men so far. Here's Mundy. Dave Duncan now on deck. For the Oakland Ball Club, they staged 2 comebacks in last night's game. And finally, the put-away shot by Reggie Jackson. For the Angels, they have been trying to fight their way up the mountainside here all evening after Oakland, after 3, jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Tossed to first base, and Bando darts back to the bag. Salvatore with his lead. And the pitch by Fisher. Mundy swings and fouls it away. Strike 1. So both games have a comeback pattern. However, the A's did it in a successful way last night, and the Angels are just at the threshold now of trying to complete it if they can keep the A's in check here in the 8th inning and see what they do in that final go-round of the ninth. Fisher ready at the belt, and the one-strike pitch. Mundy again, and it swings on this one and clears it out of the mitt of John Stevenson. Strike 2. See, the A's last night stranded a total of 4. The Angels left 12 out there, and that's the same left on base count the A's had through the first 7 innings, leaving 4 on. They now have Bando at first base with 1 out. Another throw to first. Sal moves back. Two-strike pitch. In and out of the middle of Stevenson, but Bando will stay. Sal had thoughts about making the move. That ball rolled about 15 feet to the right of the plate, but John Stevenson pouncing on it very quickly. So Bando deciding not to run any risks here. Eddie Fisher thinks about the 1-2 offering here with Bando's short lead, and here it is. 1-2 delivery swung on and missed. Or did he foul tip it? Apparently got a piece of it. Mundy just staggered out over the plate, and as Bando traveled down to second base, Sal to be recalled now as Mundy, in going after the pitch, managed to get a piece of it. Lefty Phillips is coming out now. John Stevenson apparently got stung on the hand, too, with this. As Bando goes back to first base. Bando had gone to second and stood there. This is what Lefty was curious about, and now they wave Bando back to first base. And there's Freddie Federico to come out and attend to the Angel catcher, John Stevenson, as that foul tip off Mundy's bat stung him, and stung him pretty well. Got him in the right hand. I was checking over the figures here for the Oakland Ball Club, trying to find out what their left on base count has been for the year. They run just about everything else through the machine, but apparently that's one stat that they don't have on their statistical sheet. I'm rather curious to find out how many men the A's especially with the home runs that they have hit. They seem to make everything in the way of power count. The number of homers they have hit, you would have to figure that they haven't left too many men on, in contrast to some of the other team figures. The Angels have, going into tonight's game, stranded 293. The opposition against Angels pitching has stranded 317. Freddie Federico watching John Stevenson receive a few here. John has had a couple pop out of the mid, and these tosses by Eddie Fisher. Ed's just throwing the slider, I think, here. No, knuckleball again. And the throw back by Stevenson to Fisher. It appears his hand is all right. But Lefty Phillips and Freddie Federico, just in case, stand and watch John Stevenson again make the return throw to Fisher. And he has now convinced everyone that he's all right. Rick Mundy getting ready to step into the batter's box again. The count of Mundy 1-2 with Bando at first base and 1 out. Here in the last half of the 8th inning, Oakland leads the Angels 5-4. Looks like Jerry Moses going down in the bullpen. Jerry got up off the Angel dugout bench and the dugout area and goes down to the bullpen. Throw over to first base. And again, this just pins Bando back to the bag. So Moses being sent down there just in case. Fisher getting it ready, and the 1-2 pitch. Runner goes. He fouls it off. Loops it up over the screen, and the count stays at 1-2. And again, Bando gets a little bit in the way of exercise, and again, it's way back to first base. 1-2 on Monday. The end of 6 in San Diego. Houston 4, the Padres nothing. Houston won the first game. Ball tossed out of play by the plate umpire Deegan as Fisher accepts a new one, and Eddie takes a few extra seconds to get it properly rubbed up, and then with a combination of dirt and rosin, and very carefully plants the foot on the front edge of the pitching rubber, and again works 1-2. Low with it, and the count is 2-2. So the A's and the Angels have played it very close to the vest tonight, despite Oakland's fast beginning, getting 5 runs in 3 innings. Throw over to first, and Bando's back again. And that bluff throw by Spencer, looking back over the shoulder to check Bando's position, but Sal perched right on the bag. Count 2-2 on Monday, and here it is. Low with it again, ball 3-2. Fisher thought he had a pretty good pitch. And Stevenson just holding it right there for Deegan to take another look. But Deegan declares that it was too low. The end of 8 innings at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers 4, the Giants 4. The Angels now have Mel Queen throwing in the bullpen. He's throwing to Jeff Torborg. Fisher has him 3-2. Bando to his lead. And he goes. 3-2 delivery way inside. Ball 4. Ready threw a slider here at 3-2 and ran it well inside the Monday. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And the batter will be catcher Dave Duncan. And Duncan is 0 for 3. One of the dangers for the Angels as you reach this point of the season, and still the early season, Freddie Federico's coming out again, being motioned out by Eddie Fisher, and I think they're going to take John Stevenson out of the game. And Fisher made the wave to the Angel trainer to come out and take another look at Stevenson. Jerry Moses now with mitt in hand, after running down to the lean-to that they have in the bullpen in right field, now runs back toward the dugout, and he may be put into service right now. Apparently, this is a little bit more serious than was first expected. Billy Cowan will come out and take Stevenson's glove and will catch Eddie Fisher during this delay while Jerry Moses gets his catching gear on. So Cowan comes out in case Eddie Fisher wants to continue to throw a few here, and he elects to do so. You know, with graduation and Father's Day coming up, the Angels have a suggestion about how you may solve your shopping problems. Angels gift certificates are available in any denomination and may be used for any game. So why not stop by at the Angels ticket office, where a courteous staff will be happy to help you daily from 9 to 5, or you can write to Angels Tickets, Box 3820, Anaheim 92803, and ask for information on gift certificates. Dave, for the problems the Angels have had, this doesn't help because John Stevenson with that red-hot bat of his, and now we have to find out exactly how serious he may be hurt.
Apparently, John, it's hard to tell from here, but apparently he suffered maybe a split fingernail or something like that because Freddie Federico had come out and looked at it, and I guess shot it with that ethyl chloride, which is that freezing solution, immediately. Immediately it freezes it, and after trying 3 or 4 practice throws, and finally pitcher losing Monday on a base on balls, he'll have to be taken out. But Stevenson's still swinging a hot bat, and John 1 for 4 tonight after having his string snapped last night at 15 games. So Jerry Moses take over for John Stevenson behind the plate, and it'll be up to Fisher to work on Duncan, and then Dick Green.
All right, Sal Bando at second base, Rick Mundy at first. The Angels are just trying to keep within a run now, the Oakland Ball Club, here in the last half of the 8th inning. And they're having their problems doing it with one away. The pitch on the way, and Duncan swings, fly ball center field. Should be handled by Berry. Ken backs up a step or two, takes care of it, and then fires it in towards second base, and on to third goes Sal Bando. The ball tagged well into deep center field, handled by Berry. Bando goes to third. Mundy remains at first base. And coming up will be second baseman Dick Green with 2 outs. We're going to pause right here for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
KMND FM stereo in Mesa, Arizona. 1030.
Dick Green tonight is 1 for 3. Legged out an infield hit in the 4th inning. He had grounded out and also fly to right field. So the A's set up this way. Runners at first and third, 2 away, last half of the 8th. And Fisher prepares the pitch. Delivery on the way to Green, and a late swing on this. He's just trying to shove it off into right field. And missed on the pitch, strike 1. With all this, the outfield is pretty well fanned out for Green. Alex Johnson deep and full toward the line in left field. The next one. Low with it. And the count 1-1. So, much like the first inning, the 8th inning has developed that way. They have runners at first and third without the need of a base hit. The next one close. And it's over the inside edge, says Deegan, in a late call. 1-2. Deegan taking an extra long look at the pitch as Dick Green started to wander away from home plate. Now time is called. Jerry Moses goes out to see Fisher as they now have established a 1-2 advantage on Green. On the second baseman of the Oakland Ball Club, Dick Green. He has 21 RBI. And he's the 8th place hitter. 1-2 offering now. Swung on, and he got a piece of it. Some dip foul over the screen. And it stays at 1-2 with 2 down. And again, Fisher goes through that massaging process with a brand new baseball. Fisher looks up at the scoreboard that is anchored at the base of a light tower up over the bleacher section in right field. Checks out the count. Count is 1-2, and here comes. Swung on, fly ball, right field. Tagged pretty well. Tony C. breaks back to the edge of the warning track and takes care of it. So Green leaned on this. Tony C. not playing too deep to begin with in right field, and then had to give a lot of ground. Worked his way out toward the 375 sign to handle it. So that takes care of the A's in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, a pair left, and the score at the end of 8 is Oakland 5, the Angels 4.
You don't see people putting salt in beer as much as you used to. And the brewers of Budweiser say, thank goodness, maybe it was the thing to do in some beers, but please never in Budweiser. Not that there's anything wrong with salt. Salt's beautiful on radishes or French fries or a bird's tail. But man, not in the Bud. Truth is, the only thing salt has ever been able to do for Budweiser is make it salty. And that's a sneaky thing to do to the only beer in America that's Beechwood aged. Unsalted Budweiser has become the most popular beer in the world. And that's because in brewing Bud, the Budweiser brewmaster goes all the way for a taste, a smoothness, and a drinkability you will find in no other beer at any price. So leave it that way.
Angels, the first man to come to bat will be Jim Spencer. Jim had hit in the pitcher's spot in the 7th inning and came through with a pinch single, then remained at first base. So Spencer starts it off. Then Sandy Alomar, and then Roger Repose. Let's check on that. The Spencer in there, and Repose then coming out of the lineup. That is the pitcher's position now in the batting order, the number 2 spot. So a pinch hitter will be used there. Sandy Alomar out on deck. 9th inning of play. Oakland leads at 5-4. Despite the fact the Angels are in twin figures in the hit total with 10. Catfish Hunter trying to complete another. The curve is swung on. A long drive by Spencer out of the right field, and baby, you can kiss it goodbye. So the Angels have completed their comeback effort here against the Oakland A's in the 9th inning. Jim Spencer just kissed one into the bleachers in right field, 375 feet away. So a leadoff home run by McMullen on Catfish Hunter's first pitch in the 8th inning. First delivered to Jim Spencer in the 9th inning, and the Angels have staged a complete comeback. It is now 5-5 here in the 9th, and they have 11 hits. Sandy Alomar steps in. Sandy with a single and an RBI in the 7th inning. And the pitch by Catfish, swung on, ground ball up at the shortstop side. Picked off by Campaneris. Quick throw, but not in time, and it's out of the glove of Epstein. So Sandy Alomar turned on the speed going up the line when the ball was hit. It appeared that Campaneris was going to have trouble at short. He side-saddled into moving to his right. And then the throw, biting down to the dirt out in front of Mike Epstein, and as Alomar flashed across the bag, the ball skipped out of Epstein's glove. So a base hit for Sandy Alomar. The lead run is at first base, and now we're waiting to see who will come off the bench for the Angels. Eddie Fisher will bat in this spot with the game tied at 5-5. So an infield hit by Sandy Alomar. Fisher comes on now here in the 9th inning to try to move Alomar along. Alex Johnson is the man on deck, and then we're down to the catcher's spot occupied by Jerry Moses now with Stevenson out of the lineup. They look for the sacrifice. Fisher squares to bunt it and takes the first one low for ball 1. And all the way down the line from third, Sal Bando just staring down the throat of Eddie Fisher. Bando within about 15 feet of home plate. Darrell Knowles and Ryan Klimkowski, they do some throwing now in the bullpen for the Oakland A's. Alomar away to his lead, draws the throw right away. So Sandy darts back to the bag. Home run by Jim Spencer then, and Jim getting a line single in the 7th. Now he's home run, so he's 2 for 2. Again, Bando way down the line from third. Fisher squares the bunt, dumps it at the first base side. It's a good one. The look toward second by Epstein. The toss back to Green for the out. Sacrifice going 3-4. Alomar to second base. Alex Johnson has a chance to pick him up. So the Angels have come this far into the 9th inning of the game with matters even up at 5-5. 5 runs, 12 hits, and the A's 5 runs, 4 hits. Time called as Duncan goes out to see Hunter. Hunter with his complete game success of his, and the Angels trying to take care of that in the 9th inning. Alex Johnson, 2 for 4. They'll put him on. So Alex will be intentionally walked. He won't have a shot at it here. And the on-deck man is Jerry Moses, so Alex will remain at 2 for 4 this evening. This will put runners at first and second. And Jerry Moses, inserted into the lineup to replace John Stevenson, will be walking up to the plate. See, for Jim Spencer, Jim now with 6 home runs for the year, and he has knocked in 11 runs. So Jim snapping out of it, coming off the bench, not starting against in the lineup tonight against Catfish Hunter. With Roger Repose beginning things at first base, Alex walking up the line to first. So Johnson goes to first, and Jerry Moses steps into the batter's box. Stevenson tonight had gone 1 for 4. So the Angels hope the catching corps can continue things here in the 9th inning. Jerry's batting average .230, 3 homers, and he has knocked in 9 runs. So the Angels have come back to make it most entertaining. And we had 13 innings out here last night. Dave LaRoche throwing in the bullpen. The pitch. Moses swings. Ground ball to third. Picked off by Bando. Green for 1. On to first. Double play. So it didn't take long. One pitch to Jerry Moses, and he shot it up the line to Sal Bando. Bando to Green on to Epstein, and that is the second double play for the A's in a mighty big one here in the ninth inning. The Angels managed one run, the tying run. They had 2 hits in the inning, no errors, and 1 man left. So the score at the end of the top of the ninth, the Angels 5 and Oakland 5. You know, even though the players have numbers on their uniforms, no player likes to be thought of as just a number. And of course, that holds true for airline passengers as well. But word has gone around that you are merely a number when you fly on a 747 these days. Well, perhaps that is the case on some 747s. But let me tell you this, it is never the case on Continental 747s. The fact of the matter is, Continental's intimate 747 is almost as warm and personal as a friend's home. And it's the little things that make it that way. The same gracious hostesses who greet you as you come aboard also serve you throughout the flight. The directors of passenger service are especially helpful people. You enjoy first-class legroom in all coach and economy seats, plus free lounges exclusively for coach and economy passengers. So why is Continental 747 air crew so intimate? Well, as always, with the Proud Bird, it's a matter of pride. Continental 747s depart every day for Honolulu, leaving at 10 a.m. and 12:20 p.m. So see your travel agent or telephone Continental, the Proud Bird of the Pacific. We have the last half of the ninth coming up now for the Oakland A's. And Catfish Hunter will be out of it here as Angel Mangual comes up as a pinch hitter for Hunter. Mangual has been up 50 times with 12 hits at .240 average. 1 homer, driven across 5 runs. So Eddie Fisher, who figured heavily in last night's game, figures here again. First delivery knuckleball in for a strike, and it's 0-1. It'll be Mangual, then Canty Campaneris, and then Joe Rudy. Angels 5 runs, 12 hits. Oakland 5 runs, 4 hits. 1 Oakland error on the board. Knuckles cut on, fouled away. Lifted up toward the second tier, and the count is strike 2. It is Eddie Fisher again, who is all wrapped up in this one. Mel Quain, Dave LaRoche, throwing in the Angel bullpen. Here's the 2-strike pitch to Mangual. Popped up. Second baseman Sid O'Brien going for it. Jim Spencer wants it, however, and Spence takes care of it about 5 feet back in the outfield grass. 1 away. Here's Campaneris. Campaneris walked and scored in the first. And he is 0 for 3. Campaneris has grounded out 3 times after the walk to score a run in the first inning. Bert Campaneris, the batter, and the delivery by Fisher. Knuckleball cut out a miss for strike 1. And here's Jerry Moses, and Jerry is really hurt on this one. The foul tip that got him on the left wrist. And the plate umpire, Deegan, calls for immediate help. He motions for Freddie Frederico, and again the Angels find the receiver in trouble. We have already lost John Stevenson. We don't know the extent of the injury to Stevenson. It affected his right hand. And this one, Jerry Moses' left hand. So Jerry apparently got it just above the mid on the wrist. And again, Freddie Frederico performs his task as Lefty Phillips comes out of the dugout again. And Jerry now reaches down, takes a swipe at the mask and the protective helmet, says, "I'm okay. Come on, I'll just kind of rub some dirt on the dock and you freeze it a little bit and we'll get back in action." And Moses again, as he wipes the back of the hand across the seat of his pants a couple of times, and now Freddie pats him on the back, and Jerry says, "I'll be all right." So both Freddie and Lefty Phillips head back to the dugout again. It's been sick call out there around home plate the last couple of innings. 1 down, Campaneris at bat. He's the man who got on to start things in the 13th inning against Fisher last night. 1 strike delivery, high and away. The count is 1-1. The Oakland Coliseum is a very interesting place in which to work as a broadcaster. You have a lot of friends up here. 1-1 delivery. It's swung on a miss. Campaneris kicking dirt all over home plate as he spun around in pursuit of the knuckleball. The count 1-2. We had a gentleman who just came in the booth He was flying at a rather high altitude, and he wanted to come in and spend some time with us here. The fans walk in every once in a while and then shake hands and talk to you. Smash up the middle, going forward, O'Brien. Good backhand pickup. Throw to first, gets him. Fine play by O'Brien. So Sid takes care of Campaneris, and they're 2 away. That'll bring up left fielder Joe Rudy. To go from the television location, our television booth, to the radio booth, you go through at least 16 doors. They all have locks on them. Fortunately, when you make that move and you're in a hurry, the doors are unlocked. And, of course, unfortunately, they're also unlocked when it comes to the paying customers. Fine play by O'Brien to get Campaneris. Joe Rudy checks, takes a good pitch, strike one. Rudy with a double and a run scored in the third. He walked and scored in the first inning. He's 1 for 3 tonight. The pitch to him swung on, and he hammers this foul off to the right of the plate, strike 2. Rudy's batting average right now up 2 points from where it started this evening. He is at 239. Game tied 5-5, last half of the ninth inning, and the A's have 2 away. Wide again by Fisher, and his pitch is on the way. Rudy with a swing and a foul tip. Out of the way from Moses. The Giants scored 2 in the ninth inning. They lead the Dodgers 6-4 at the end of 8 1/2. And Cumberland has come out of the bullpen for the Giants in the ninth inning to try to put the finishing touches to that one at Dodger Stadium. Count 0-2 on Rudy with 2 down. Jackson on deck. The pitch. Ground ball toward third. Foul. Just the bag by about a foot, and then gloved and foul ground by Ken McMillan, who was all set to crank up a throw just in case. Rudy comes back to home plate, and the count stays at 0-2. Right of the verge of going into extra innings for the second game in a row here. The 2-strike delivery now, and Rudy takes it low. The count 1-2. But against this team, with the power they possess, you never know. Doesn't pay to make any rash statements. So they have only 4 hits tonight. 1-2 pitch. Smashed by McMillan, base hit left field. All right. Here's Reggie Jackson walking up to the plate. Here's Lefty Phillips coming out, and Lefty, I think, is going to go with left-hander Dave LaRoche here. Thirteenth inning last night, and Reggie crashed the 2-run homer off Eddie Fisher. So we'll see what Lefty has in mind. He's about 10 feet from the Kingfish right now as he walks up top of the mound to talk to Eddie, and he doesn't waste any time there. I want the left-hander. So LaRoche will come out of the bullpen to face the left-handed batting Reggie Jackson in this spot. Reggie 0 for 2 tonight.
Dave LaRoche, pitching for California. LaRoche.
Dave, while we have a moment, wanted to check over all the scores, but Dave LaRoche coming out of the Angel bullpen.
All right, Don, and as you mentioned, Lefty Phillips, harking back to last evening, under almost the exact same circumstances, not taking a chance, will go with Dave LaRoche, a left-hander, to face Reggie Jackson. Here's what happened in the rest of the baseball action today. Minnesota beat Milwaukee 4-1, Blyleven over Lockwood. The Chicago White Sox beat Kansas City 7-2. That was Wilbur Wood picking up his 3rd victory of the year. Mike Hedlund took the loss. The New York Yankees snapped the Detroit Tigers win string at 7. They beat them 2-1 by scoring 2 in the 8th inning of play. At Baltimore, Mike Cuellar won his 6th victory of the year. He's lost but 1 and took the loss. Rich is 0-2. 3-2, Baltimore beats the Cleveland Indians. By the same score, the Boston Red Sox knocked off the Washington Senators 3-2. Ray Culp, the winner, he is 5-3. Jerry Janeski took the loss 1-4. In the National League, Montreal pounded Atlanta 11-1. That was a 2-hitter by Bill Stoneman. Stoneman is now 6-2. Pat Jarvis took the loss. Philadelphia and the New York Mets went 12. Finally went to the Phillies 3-2. Darrell Brandon getting the win. Doug McGraw the loss. Brandon is 2-1. McGraw, the loser, is 3-2. Pittsburgh shut out Cincinnati 2-0, a 5-hit shutout for Steve Blass. Clevenger took the loss. He is 2-2. Other games, St. Louis knocked off the Chicago Cubs 9-4. Taylor, the winner, 1-0. Holtzman took the loss. He is 2-5. After 8.5 in Los Angeles, the San Francisco Giants lead the Dodgers 6-4. Perry started, Cumberland in the ninth for the Giants. Osteen started for the Dodgers, Mueller in the sixth. First to 2, Houston 2-1 over San Diego. In the nightcap after 7, the Astros with a 4-0 lead. So it gets down to this. Left-hander Dave LaRoche against left-handed batting, power batting, Reggie Jackson.
All right, here we go. Dave is ready, and the pitch on the way to Jackson. A curve is high, ball 1. Reggie Jackson, 22 RBIs. Joe Rudy, the runner at first base. He kept it rolling with 2 away as he smashed one out of the reach of third baseman Ken McMullen. And the pitch. Jackson on a half swing. Taps it foul up the third base side, and the count is 1-1. In the game here last night in the 10th inning, LaRoche came out of the bullpen, and in facing Reggie, got him on that same type of swing. It was a check swing, and he rolled one out to the shortstop, Sandy Alomar. And that was the final out of the 10th, and they had 2 men on it. They had 1 man on at the time. Next delivery, and there's the strike. Reggie goes to 1-2. 1-2 on Reggie. Rudy standing on the bag with Spencer, and now breaks away to a short lead. The 1-2 pitch. Jackson with a swing and a miss on the fastball, strike 3. So Jackson again finds himself in a spot where it was an overmatched job against left-hander Dave LaRoche. With Jackson gone, that takes care of the A's. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a man left, and the score at the end of 9. And it's extra inning time again at the Coliseum. Angels 5 and Oakland 5. So fans in the Long Beach area may take advantage of a special Angels ticket offer. It's now appearing in the sports pages of the Independent Press Telegram. And for each ticket purchased to the Angels Red Sox game of June 15th, the Independent Press Telegram will provide an adjoining seat free. Now, only mail orders can be accepted, and this offer expires on June 6th. So we invite you to check the sports section of the Long Beach Independent Press Telegram for complete information. See a right-hander, Ron Klimkowski, to work now as he comes on to replace Catfish Hunter on the mound. Catfish, who had gone along with that good complete game pitching pace, but finally Dick Williams having to go to the bench for Angel Mangual to bat for him. And Mangual being unsuccessful in that pinch hitting assignment in the inning just completed. So the A's have 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and the Angels 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors. So far, the A's have stranded 7, and the Angels have left a like number out there in the bases. So check on that. Now they've won over that count, a total of 8 for the men from the Southern California area. So Ron Klimkowski will work in the 10th inning. The Angels, and they get a kick out of the scoreboard that they have. They just reverted to the completion of 8 innings on the scoreboard, and it reads Oakland 5, the Angels 4 in the run column. It's not quite musical chairs. It's more musical numbers, I guess, that the scoreboard plays with the fans who are out here, and sometimes they must be wondering if they're looking at the same game the automated scoreboard is looking at. In any event, it shows that 5-4 score, Oakland leading at the end of 8, but we know that it's really 5-5 at the end of 9. Here's Dave.
Don, I know it was too good to be true because the scoreboard, I think, had been perfect up to this point, and that would have set an all-time record for our games here with the Oakland A's. So now they get it corrected, a 5-5 tie. And here is Ken McMullen to lead off the 10th. For the second night in a row, we go into overtime. Klimkowski winds in this pitch, is swung on and popped up. Second baseman Dick Green on the outfield grass looking up and making the catch. So McMullen, who has homered in each of his last 3 games on one pitch, pops up in the 10th. And here's Tony Conigliaro. Conigliaro doubled his first time up, bounced into a double play, flied out to center fielder Rick Mundy, and fouled out to catcher Dave Duncan. So Conigliaro against Ron Klimkowski. Klimkowski, tall right-hander, appearing in his 11th game of the year. He has won 2, he has lost 1, an earned run average of 3.86. He has only pitched in 16 and a third innings. Well, the Giants do it again. The pitch to Conigliaro is off the mark for ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Count on Tony C. Klimkowski with both feet on the rubber. Into the wind, and here she comes back Conigliaro swings, taps a two-hopper to third baseman Sal Bando. Down with the tailgate, and he throws him out by 25 feet. So Conigliaro is erased. The Angels quickly with 2 down in the 10th, and that'll bring up Sid O'Brien. The Giants 6-4 victors over the Dodgers. San Francisco 6 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. The winning pitcher, Gaylord Perry. Perry is now 5-2. Joe Moeller took the loss. He is 0-1. The pitch to O'Brien is a two-hopper to the shortstop, Campaneris, who goes to his right, plugs up the hole, and throws him out. So on 4 pitches, Klimkowski retires the Angels in the 10th. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the home half of the 10th, a 5-5 tie.
Tradition. Man has written and sung about it for centuries, and based some of his finest endeavors on protecting it. Tradition, pride in the past, and the good things that have been accomplished there, helps Busch remain the best beer of its kind. Our family heritage is just as important as the finest hops and barley used in the brewing of Busch. Busch is brewed for beer drinkers who have come to know Anheuser-Busch products as the finest anywhere. The only way to merit their confidence is by brewing for today, as we have for 119 years, the Busch way. In brewing, as in every other test of greatness, Busch does it like no other beer.
So for the 3rd time and 5 times to the yard for these 2 ball clubs, they go into extra work. And in the bottom half of the 10th inning for Oakland, it'll be Mike Epstein, Sal Bando, and Rick Mundy against left-hander Dave LaRoche. LaRoche, the 4th pitcher employed by manager Lefty Phillips this evening. Dave into the windup, and the pitch on the way to Epstein down low, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Epstein tonight has driven in 3, a 2-run home run, a sacrifice fly in the 1st. He walked in the 5th, and he bounced back to the pitcher in the 8th. That would be Eddie Fisher. LaRoche's 1-0 pitch. Epstein swings and sends a high towering drive into right field going nowhere. Conigliaro over, so is Barry, and it is Tony C. calling and making the catch, 1 down. So Epstein skies to Conigliaro, Sal Bando coming on after 7.5. The Houston Astros on their way to a sweep over the San Diego Padres. It is now Houston 7, the Pods nothing. Houston won the first game 2-1. Sal Bando, who has been a thorn in the Angels' side ever since he came into the league, against left-hander Dave LaRoche. Bando has singled, grounded out, slide out, and the pitch to him, curve inside. Ball 1, 1-0. And he was walked in the 8th inning. Bando hitting .279 as he steps to the plate. Sal with 6 home runs, 27 RBIs. He leads the club in that department. LaRoche's 1-0 pitch to Sal, curve underneath the fifth, too far low. 2 balls and no strikes. The Angels, a long road back, but they made it. Behind 5-0, they scored 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th. The pitch. Bando looks at a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Angels have out-hit the A's 12-5. 4,354 on hand. The A's have drawn 215,448 this year. And the 2-1 pitch. Bando looks at a fastball outside. 3 balls and a strike. Left-handed batting, Rick Mundy waiting on deck, hoping to get a chance. Well, definitely will get a chance with 1 out. Should he get on, Dave Duncan, the villain of last night, would step up. Swung on, line drive up the ladder over the outstretched glove of second baseman Sid O'Brien into right field. So with 1 out, Bando singles. That'll bring up Monday. Rick, who is 0 for 2 tonight, is walked twice. Popped out to Sandy Alomar, and he is grounded out to Sid O'Brien. So the A's trying to nab 1 again in extra frames from the Angels. O'Brien timed his leap just perfectly, but this one a couple of feet over his outstretched glove. So Bando with his second base hit of the evening, and he moves over the 280 mark. Mundy stepping in, hitting .224. LaRoche at the belt. Sal leads, and the curve is low to Mundy. 1 ball and no strikes. Outfield pulled around a little bit to the left, even with the left-handed batter Monday at the plate. He hit one down the line, he could run forever. Tony Conigliaro just about straight away right field. Ken Berry pulled into left center field. Alex Johnson playing straight away in left, and the pitch swung on, fouled back. A ball and a strike to count levels off. The Angels story, Ken McMullen in the last 3 games has homered. Mac now with 7 home runs on the year, with 16 RBIs. And make no mistake about it, he has done his part so far this year. A ball and a strike on Monday. Bando away from first. LaRoche looks over there and comes to the plate with a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This one just straight smoke over the outside corner. 1 and 2. McMullen charging in from third at that time, looking for the sacrifice. But Monday watching it just buzz right down the middle. LaRoche checking with Jerry Moses. He's ready. Long looked at first and comes to the plate. Monday around about with 2 strikes on him, and he strikes out as he fouls it away. So Monday is a strikeout victim, the second for young left-hander Dave LaRoche. And here comes manager Lefty Phillips out to talk about the way he would like to have Dave Duncan pitch too. Right-hander down in the Angel bullpen is Mel Queen, and while the conference is at the mound between Moses and Phillips, we will pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
This is your power station for all Angels night games, KMND FM stereo in Mesa, Arizona. 11 o'clock.
So the conference at the mound between Lefty Phillips and Dave LaRoche, Jerry Moses, Sandy Alomar in on it, is terminated. Here is Dave Duncan, who had 2 home runs last night. At first base, Sal Bando with 2 down, a 5-5 tie. We're in the bottom of the 10th. 5 runs, 12 hits for the Angels. 5 on 6 for the Oakland A's. Duncan is ready. So is LaRoche, and the curve is high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. You might wonder about the availability of Kurt Blefary for the Oakland A's, acquired from the New York Yankees last night. He is not here and will not be with the Oakland Ball Club. He will report at Fenway Park in Boston, the stretch. The 1-0 pitch to Duncan, inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Just off the inside edge. 2 down. LaRoche pawing at the rubber. Jerry Moses in relief of Johnny Stevenson, who was stung. The stretch. Here's the 2-1 pitch, 2-0 pitch rather, and now it's 2-1 as Duncan swings and doesn't get it. 2 balls and a strike. Now, last night when we were talking about the availability of Steve Hobley to pinch hit after the trade had been made, about an hour before game time, the stretch and the pitch on the way, swung on and a deep drive in the left center field. Over in a hurry, a center fielder, Ken Berry, who makes a great catch as he falls to his knees. So Berry, in a hurry, shutting off the gap, and as that one could have gotten through, I am quite sure that Mr. Bando could have scored all the way from first base. Johnson was back to back it up, but Berry, sliding, came up with a great catch. To finish the story on Hobley, he could not have been used. He had been optioned already to Iowa, the American Association. But a sparkling play turned in by the bandit Ken Berry in left center field gets Dave Duncan on a line drive. So in the 10th, the A's come up empty-handed. No runs, a base hit, no errors, a man left. And after 10, she's still a 5-5 tie. Well, you can have lunch with the Rams' Roman Gabriel, and here's how. On Saturday, June the 5th, that will be a week from this Saturday, at the Sheraton Universal Hotel, the Cystic Fibrosis salutes Gabe for his contributions in the fight against this children's respiratory disease, which is always fatal. And many of Gabe's friends from the sports and the entertainment world will be there, so we invite you to join them. For ticket information, simply call the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation at 275-4125. That's area code 213, the Los Angeles area. 275-4125. We hope you all have a wonderful time on Saturday, June the 5th at the Sheraton Universal. Big day for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation as it salutes the great Ram quarterback Roman Gabriel. A 5-5 tie. We're going to go into the 11th. 5 runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Angels. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Oakland A's. The Angels have the bottom of the batting order coming on against right-hander
Ron Klimkowski. Klimkowski only having to throw 4 pitches to retire the Angels in the 10th. Barry, then Jim Spencer, then Sandy Alomar. And as we go to the 11th, let's again get back to Don.
Hi, Dave. It is the batting in the bottom order. Coming up here.
Seems a long night.
As Miss Phyllis says, yes, I remember this well. As we were doing this out here last night about this time. As Ken Berry steps into the batter's box, Ken 1 for 3, and the pitch, a curve, and he took a lusty cut on this and failed to find it for strike 1. Ken had doubled and scored in the 7th inning. He walked in the 5th inning, so he's 1 for 3, and his batting average is 183. That is brought up today. Jim Spencer is on deck, and then Sandy Alomar. Ron Klimkowski. And Klim's 1-strike pitch. Snaps it through for a strike. Slider, 0-2. Catfish Hunter had toured the first 9 in the game. And the home runs got to him. Strike 3 call. So right back with a slider, and Barry is out of there. Klimkowski has now retired 4 in a row, and the Angels are trying to find some way to get something into the outfield off this man. That's his first strikeout. Darrell Knowles, Bobby Locker is throwing in the A's bullpen. Here's Jim Spencer. Jim 2 for 2. Singled and scored in the 7th and homered in the 9th inning. That knotted it up. And he faces the right-hander here. Pitch on the way to Spence, and he takes it letter high for a strike between the waist and the letters, 0-1. The problem with the Angels last night was after Oakland had managed to come back, the Angels' attack just sputtered in extra inning. Curve outside, the count is 1-1. And while their bats were idle, then Reggie Jackson went to work in the power department for the 2-run homer that won it. 1-1 offering now to Spencer, and it is swung on and missed. Jim got started very early on this. The count is 1-2. For the Angels last night, home runs told the scoring story early in the game, and tonight it was just the reverse of that. The home runs went to work late in the game. McMullen and Spencer. 1-2 offering now to Spence. Swung on. A ground ball up the first base side. Off the chest of Epstein. Retrieves now the throw to the pitcher, covering in time. So Mike Epstein stayed with it, and Klimkowski, charging over to first base to cover, handles the toss. There are 2 away. Spencer cranked it hard to Epstein. Here's Sandy Alomar. Sandy is 2 for 5 tonight. A base hit and an RBI in the 7th inning, and an infield hit in the 9th inning. Then he was sacrificed along. Then Alex Johnson was intentionally walked. And then Jerry Moses looked at one pitch by Hunter, liked the looks of it, and slapped it into a double play. Pitch to Alomar, swung on, fly ball, straightaway center field. Should be handled by Mundy. Mundy just cruising back under it, and deep enough now, hauls it in. The Angels are 1-2-3 by Klimkowski for the 2nd inning in a row. Score at the end of the top of the 11th, the Angels 5 and Oakland 5. Getting to be vacation time once again, and what a delightful vacation spot is Hawaii. Yes. Settle back out there in the islands, and you can really unwind. And, of course, that's why most people go someplace like Hawaii, just to unwind. And that's why you should go there on Continental Airlines, because Continental gives you plenty of leg room to relax and stretch out. First-class leg room for all their coach and economy passengers on every flight. And that isn't all Continental gives you on your way to Hawaii. You'll dine on famous down-the-beach summer food and really get into the mood for the islands with a special Hawaiian atmosphere Continental has created especially for you. And I guess that's what they mean when they talk about going to Hawaii with love. Yes, with Continental Airlines, the proud bird with the golden tail. For the Oakland Ball Club in the last half of the 11th inning, Dave LaRoche will face second baseman Dick Green to start it off. And then we're down to the pitcher's position again. Game tied 5-5. The Angels with double the hit count of the Oakland Ball Club tonight. The Angels have 12. Oakland has managed 6. Dick Green 1 for 4. An infield hit in the 4th inning. First look that he has had at Dave LaRoche. Dave has worked an inning in the 3rd, given up 1 hit. And he struck out a pair. David scuffs away at the pitching rubber, gets it to Wade Watson, now goes to work, the pitch to Green, and the fastball is wide at the intended mark, ball 1. David working in his 17th game. Starting off with this relief assignment, he had worked 18 innings, struck out 21. Fastball cut on a miss. He blistered that pitch up to the plate. 1-1. And in doing so, with that swing, delivered some dirt on the plate, so Deegan takes care of that. LaRoche, a winner of one, a loser of none. His ERA, 0.49 for Dave. 17 game appearances. And he has 2 saves to his credit. He gets ready, and the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, ground ball to third. McClellan playing just a step inside the bag. Gloves it, makes the toss to Spencer for the out. 1 down. Ron Klimkowski approaches the plate. The bullpen of the A's has not been a very busy place because of all their complete games. When they have worked, they've worked most effectively. Pitch by LaRoche. Swung on a miss by Klimkowski. Strike 1. Klimkowski's ERA, 3.8. Winning 2 and losing 1. And he has 1 save. 1 strike pitch to him. Again, the same pattern fastball. Waved at and missed. The bullpen for Oakland has a total of 6 saves. The Angel bullpen has saved 9. 2 strike pitch curve by LaRoche, waved at feebly by Klimkowski for strike 3. There are 2 away. Here's Campy Campaneris. Campaneris 0 for 4. Walked in the first inning. The Angels just laid out the platter for Oakland in that first inning as Tom Murphy got off to a lack of control start. He walked Campaneris, he walked Rudy, he hit Reggie Jackson with a pitch. So there they were, bases loaded, nobody out. And something had to give, and Epstein delivered a sacrifice fly. Bando singled the drive and a pair of runs, and that was the fast start for Oakland tonight. Sliced fly ball down the right field line, dropping foul by about 20 feet. The count strike 1 on Campaneris. But despite the generosity of the first inning, with those gifts going to the Oakland Ball Club, the Angels then, they started their routine and have been able to fight back. And it's tied 5-5, last of the 11th. Curve in for a strike, and it's on 2. Campaneris retired in a fine fielding play by Sid O'Brien his last time up. That's as close as he has come to a base hit tonight. 2-strike delivery, swung on late, fouled it off. Zooms this one off beyond the Angel bullpen and up into the seats. Got 2 strikes on Campaneris. Well, you better tune up, Dave. Unless this guy jolts one. If that lotto'll stop working, we're turning you loose here in the 12th. 2-strike delivery, and he reached out for it. Hammers it foul into the second tier, and the count stays at 0-2. Last half of the 11th inning, and here's the pitch by LaRoche. 2-strike offering, curved him, fouled it off the handle on the netting. For the A's, in extra innings, they have played 4 of these contests. And this is the 3rd with the California Club, with the Southern California Club, and the Oakland Ball Club has won 3 of the 4 that they have played. 2-strike delivery high and away. The count is 1-2. The Angels in extra innings have played 5. They have won 3 and lost 2. Dave LaRoche with a 1-2 count on Campaneris with 2 outs and nobody on, and he works it again. Curve, lobs it foul off the handle, and it will worm its way into the lower deck. So Campaneris just merrily fouling off one after another. LaRoche has tried mostly breaking stuff after getting out in front of Campaneris 1 and 2. He's just breaking off one ball after another to him, and he's fouled him off. Here's the 1-2 offering. Fastball here, and a sinking fastball waved at a miss for strike 3. So Campaneris, after seeing all the curveballs and then back with the fastball, came LaRoche. 1-2-3. That's the A's accounting. And the score at the end of 11, Angels 5, Oakland 5. You know, with graduation and Father's Day coming up, the Angels have a suggestion about how you may solve your shopping problems. For Angels gift certificates are available in any denomination and may be used for any game. So why not stop by at the Angels ticket office, where the courteous staff will be happy to help you on a daily basis from 9 until 5, or you can write to Angels Tickets, Box 3820, Anaheim 92803, and ask for information on gift certificates. It's a very fine thing for any gift problems you may have to make a presentation of an Angel gift certificate, and especially with graduation and with Dad's Day coming up on the calendar. So the 12th inning, right around the corner here at the Oakland Coliseum, as the Angels show 5 runs, 12 hits and no errors, and Oakland 5 runs, a half dozen hits and 1 error, and 2 pitchers really messed in this one and embroiled in it. Ron Klimkowski for the Oakland A's, and Dave LaRoche, the left-hander of the Angels. And the first man to come to bat here is scheduled to be the pitcher, and Dave LaRoche with his jacket on out in the on-deck area, and then he hustled back to the dugout, and I think that he just went back there to select another piece of timber. So Dave now starts to take that heavyweight jacket off to get ready to approach the plate. It'll be Dave LaRoche, then Alex Johnson, and then the Angels catcher, Jerry Moses. 12th inning of play, and here's Dave.
All right, Don, and again, the amazing Angel bullpen has done just a terrific job. Matter of fact, they have shut out the A's certificate, and especially with graduation and with Dad's Day coming up on the calendar. So the 12th inning, right around the corner here at the Oakland Coliseum, as the Angels show 5 runs, 12 hits and no errors, and Oakland 5 runs, a half dozen hits and 1 error, and 2 pitchers really messed in this one and embroiled in it. Ron Klimkowski for the Oakland A's, and Dave LaRoche, the left-hander of the Angels. And the first man to come to bat here is scheduled to be the pitcher, and Dave LaRoche with his jacket on out in the on-deck area, and then he hustled back to the dugout, and I think that he just went back there to select another piece of timber. So Dave now starts to take that heavyweight jacket off to get ready to approach the plate. It'll be Dave LaRoche, then Alex Johnson, and then the Angels catcher, Jerry Moses. 12th inning of play, and here's Dave. All right, Don, and again, the amazing Angel bullpen has done just a terrific job. Matter of fact, they have shut out the A's in the last 8 innings and have given up but 3 base hits. But it hasn't been enough. They had to get off the floor themselves, score 5 to tie it, and it is tied 5-5 as we go to the 12th inning of play. Dave LaRoche, he's a good hitting pitcher. Dave, a former outfielder, likes to swing the bat. He will lead it off. To be followed by Alex Johnson and then catcher Jerry Moses. Against right-hander Ron Klimkowski. Klimkowski, a most unusual motion, almost has the old Satchel Paige hesitation pitch. He stops almost in midair, and the tall right-hander into the wind, and the fastball is outside to LaRoche. 1 ball and no strike. A ball and no strikes on LaRoche. A 5-5 tie. Bando playing in just off the grass at third. Klimkowski's 1-0 pitch to LaRoche, swung on a high drive into right center field. Back in a hurry is the center fielder Rick Mundy, back near the warning track, makes the catch. LaRoche really got the wood on it, and he sent Mundy deep about 370 feet away to pull down the drive. So 1 man away. That'll bring up the axe, Alex Johnson. Johnson intentionally walked his last time up. Alex is 2 for 4 this evening. Alex singled in the first, bounced back to Jim Hunter, the catfish in the third, struck out in the fourth, and singled in the seventh. Drove in a very big run. Klimkowski into the wind, the pitch to the axe, fouled away. 0-1. We got a great homestand coming up when the Angels return home. Not that long a homestand, but some interesting ball clubs that you haven't had a chance to see yet. Washington and Boston, 2 clubs. The 0-1 pitch to the axe, swung on, ground ball into the hole on the right side for a base hit. So Alex is 3 for 5, a 1-out single in the 12th, and that'll bring up Jerry Moses. Moses taking over for Johnny Stevenson. Stevenson taken out in the 8th inning of play when a foul tip off the bat of Rick Mundy hit his meat hand, and then Moses taking over had his left wrist hurt. But he stayed in the ball game. Moses called away from the plate to confer with Lefty Phillips. Alex Johnson at first base, and Alex has come back in a big way. 3 base hits, 3 for 5. He represents the go-ahead run, a 5-5 tie in the 12th inning of play. So in 2 games, the A's and the Angels will at least play 25 innings, and this ball game already about 3 hours and
17 or 18 minutes old. Went 3 hours and 35 minutes last night. The Angels hoping for a different outcome, however. Ball inspected by the plate umpire Bill Deegan. And Deegan gives Klimkowski a new baseball. Fregosi will come out. He will pinch hit for Jerry Moses. Jimmy, who pinch hit in last night's ball game in the ninth, slide out to right field. So Jim, who would like to be playing more than any man in baseball, I'm sure, with that tremendous competitive desire that the Angel shortstop has. And all he can do is sit around and watch and from time to time pinch hit. That sore right toe, that aroma on his right toe, or between the toes, of the big toe and the second toe. And Jim hoping to get some wood on the ball here to help the Angel cause in batting practice. And Jim, of course, not hitting with the regulars, with the extras. Hits some towering drives into the seat. It doesn't appear to affect his swinging the bat. He just can't run. And Fregosi hoping to hit one somewhere, hit them where they ain't, as wee Willie Keeler used to do, I guess, and help the Angels. One man away, Johnson away from first, Epstein holding him on. The stretch by Klimkowski. Here's the pitch to Fregosi. The slider is low. A ball and no strikes on Jim. The A's left fielder Joe Rudy playing Fregosi deep. Center fielder Rick Mundy straight away, and right fielder Reggie Jackson straight away and right. Throw to first base, back just in time as Johnson standing up as the ball gets away from first baseman Mike Epstein. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, the Astros sweep 2 from the San Diego Padres, 8-0 in the second game as Larry Dierker pitches a one-hitter. Throw to first base, Johnson back. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for San Diego. Houston, 8 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. I don't know, well, the attendance, that's right, 4,231 in San Diego. The stretch. Fregosi waits. There goes Johnson, swung on a high drive deep to left center field. Way back to have a look is Rudy, and Fregosi will come on home. Johnson will hit the pay station first, and Jim Fregosi, that limp, most noticeable, rounding second, touches the third base bag, gets a shake from Rocky Bridges, and he comes in, and the Angels lead 7-5. And Fregosi has to be the happiest man on the Angel bench as he goes back to the bench. A high, towering drive deep to left center field, about 385 feet away. Klimkowski got it right up in the eyes to Jimmy, and the Angels lead it 7-5. And for the Angels, a long way back, and they have trudged ahead 7-5. Here is Ken McMullen, the pitch to Klimkowski, check swing, one hopper right to Mike Epstein at first base, and McMullen is erased. So Jim Fregosi hitting a high, towering drive over the wall, about 380 feet away, has given the Angels the lead 7-5. For Jimmy, his second home run of the year, RBIs number 12 and 13. 2 outs. Here is Tony C. Conigliaro has doubled in 5 trips, and the pitch to him is swing and a miss. And the next pitch is over the inside corner for a strike. 0-2 on Tony Conigliaro. As the Angels have come back here in the 12th, they lead it 7-5. On Jim Fregosi's pinch hit home run, Klimkowski's pitch, Conigliaro fouls it away. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Tony C. Would have to be a very bitter defeat for the Oakland A's after blowing a 5-run lead, and it would make that 3,000-mile journey to New York for the Angels about 1,500 miles shorter. Conigliaro grounds out easily to Bert Campaneris to end the inning. But the Angels pick up 2 runs on a couple of base hits, the single by Alex Johnson, and the home run by Jim Fregosi. No A's errors and nobody left. And after 11.5, the Angels 7, Oakland 5.
When is a pickup truck not a pickup truck? Well, when it's the Datsun Little Hustler. You see, so many of the people who own a Datsun pickup use it as their car, too. And there's no reason they shouldn't. It gives them sports car handling, sedan comfort, and small car economy. No wonder it's the nation's #1 selling import truck. When it's handling its hauling chores, the Datsun pickup is no loafer either. The powerful overhead cam engine pulls through easily, even with heavy loads. And economically, too. Up to 25 miles per gallon. If it's a camper you want, the Datsun Little Hustler even carries that off in grand style. So if it's sporty fun you're looking for, or an economical commuter, or a hard-working hauler, or all of those, then there's just one answer. The pickup that's not just a pickup. The Datsun Little Hustler. It's a lot of trucks for a little money. See the small car expert, your nearby Southern California Datsun dealer, for a close look at the Datsun pickup. And when he asks you what you want, tell him you want to drive a Datsun. Then decide.
Well, it's hold-on time as we go to the bottom of the 12th. The A's against left-hander Joe Rudy lead it off against left-hander Dave LaRoche. Lead it off with Joe Rudy, who swings and fouls it back against the screen. One strike. The deep drive home run by Jim Fregosi, giving the Angels a come-from-behind 7-5 lead. Dave LaRoche, the fourth pitcher employed by manager Lefty Phillips this evening. Tom Murphy went 4, Archie Reynolds 2, Eddie Fisher 2 2/3. And LaRoche came in with 2 out in the 9th to strike out Reggie Jackson. 1 strike on Rudy. LaRoche with both feet on the rubber, checking now with the new catcher, who is Jeff Torborg. Fregosi pinch hitting for Jerry Moses. So the Angels have employed all 3 receivers this evening. Stevenson injured, removed for Moses. And now Torborg behind the platter to try to finish it out. And the pitch swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes on Rudy. The A's definitely never out of a ball game with the tremendous power that they present to the opposition. Witness last night. Duncan tying up the ball game with a 2-out home run in the bottom of the 9th, and then Reggie Jackson, who is on deck, winning it with a 2-run bolt off Eddie Fisher in the 13th. And the 2-strike pitch to Rudy, fastball fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Reggie Jackson is next. Mike Epstein will follow. So if LaRoche could dispose of Mr. Rudy, manager Phillips would have things his way with Jackson and Epstein, 2 left-handed batters against the left-hander LaRoche. But, of course, both boys with exceptional power. And Epstein already having homered earlier in the ball game off Tom Murphy. The 0-2 pitch, fastball grounded to the right side. A 2-hopper to Sidney O'Brien, and Sir Sidney throws him out. 1 down. And the thing that Dave LaRoche wants to keep away from, of course, the base on balls, giving the A's the opportunity to bring the tying run to the plate with such tremendous power that the A's possess. And you look right down the lineup, Jackson, Epstein next, and should either of those get on, Salbando. So here is Reggie Jackson, who has struck out 3 times tonight. He was hit by a pitch, and he was walked. So Reggie 0 for 3. Left-hander Dave LaRoche on the hill. Dave with both feet on the rubber. Into the wind, Jackson waits, and the pitch on the way, the curve, he bunts it back to LaRoche. Should be an easy play. David pivots 180 degrees and easily throws out Reggie Jackson. So Jackson trying to pull a surprise, but by bunting, he bunted too hard. Back to LaRoche, who is a fine fielding pitcher. 2 out. And the Angels now 1 out away from victory. That'll bring up Mike Epstein. LaRoche trying to pick up his 2nd victory of the year. Dave has won 1, he has lost none, and an earned run average, you can't even see it, 0.49, and that will drop even lower should he be able to hang on. LaRoche's pitch on the way to Epstein, a fastball low, ball 1, 1-0. And again, we reiterate, LaRoche wants to keep that tying run from coming to the plate. Time called by the plate umpire, Bill Deegan, and Epstein is asked to have Deegan look at the baseball. The rookie umpire does and fires it back to LaRoche. 1 ball and no strikes. McMullen, Alomar, O'Brien, and Jim Spencer around the infield. And the pitch to Mike Rock over the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alex Johnson in left. Ken Berry in center. Tony C in right. The Angels trying to wrap it up. What an emotional lift this ball game would be after the disaster last night. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Epstein looked at a strike call over the outside corner. 1-2 to Big Mike. And a perfect pitch thrown by Dave LaRoche, the curve over the outside edge. 1-2. The Angels 7 runs, 14 hits, and no errors. The A's 5 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. LaRoche into the wind. This is the 1-2 offering, and Epstein did not go around. And now the plate umpire Deegan is appealing to the third base umpire Art Franz to get some help. And Franz said no. So Deegan looking up the line, asking for help from Franz, and Franz nodded his head no. So they count 2 balls and 2 strikes on Epstein. LaRoche is ready to go to work. Into the wind, the Torrance left-hander, and the 2-2 pitch swung on, foul back. So he stayed the same, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Angels fell behind 5-0. The A's with 3 in the first, 2 in the third. The Angels coming back with 1 in the fifth, 2 in the seventh, 1 in the eighth, 1 in the ninth. The leadoff home run by Jim Spencer, and now the 2-run bolt in the 12th by Fregosi to give them the lead 7-5. And they are 1 strike away from victory. The fastball swung on, flared foul, back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Epstein hanging tough. And so is LaRoche, as his job right now is to just throw strikes. LaRoche pawing at the rubber. Dave, ready now? Epstein waving the wood back and forth. The 2-2 pitch. Epstein swings, line drive, base hit right field. And so what the Angels did not want to happen has. The tying run has come to the plate. That will be Sal Bando. Here comes manager Lefty Phillips. And Bando, the right-handed batter, and we will probably see LaRoche depart right here. So on a 2-2 pitch, and you got to give LaRoche credit. He wasn't going to give Epstein a free base on balls. If he was going to get on, he would have to hit it. And Epstein did exactly that. A line drive into right field. So Phillips out to the mound. Right-hander Mel Queen has been warming up. Jeff Torborg joins the conclave out there, as does shortstop Sandy Alomar. Phillips still talking with Torborg and LaRoche. The man due up will be Sal Bando. Ball game now about 3.5 hours old. Plate umpire Bill Deegan out to see if he can't rush things along. Mel Queen is warm. He is just standing in the Angel bullpen with his hands on his hips. And Lefty Phillips, I believe, will stay with Dave LaRoche as he crosses the first baseline. Conference still at the mound. A 7-5 ball game. That's the 7th base hit for the A's this season. For Mike Epstein, his 2nd base hit, the other 2-run home run back in the 3rd off Tom Murphy. So Dave LaRoche still trying to get that last out. Bando, who has conked out 6 home runs this year. At the plate, the stretch by Dave, and the pitch to him. Fastball, Steve Reich over the inside corner, 0-1. Little wrinkle to this ball thrown by LaRoche. That may have been the fork ball that Dave has been working on. 0-1. Stretch by Dave. And the pitch. Bando takes a close one inside. Epstein, of course, is not being held on at first base. With 2 down by Jim Spencer. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bando. Epstein at first. The 7-5 ball game. We're in the bottom of the 12th with 2 outs. LaRoche is ready. The 1-1 pitch. Bando fouls it away back behind the screen. So again, the Angels just that close. 1 strike away from a win. But oh, what a big strike that can be sometimes. Ask Lloyd Allen about last night's ball game as he went 0-2 on Dave Duncan, then 3-2 before Duncan finally tied it. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bando. Epstein just standing at first with his hands on his hips. And the pitch swung on, fouled away. There will be no play on this one as Spencer will run out of room. This one about 15, 20 rows deep. So 1-2, and the suspense continues. The A's open up in Boston over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the front-running Boston Red Sox in that Eastern Division. While the Angels travel to Yankee Stadium in New York and take a look at the New Yorkers for the first time this year. 1 ball and 2 strikes. LaRoche is ready. So is Bando. And the pitch on the way. Curve swung on and a high fly ball. This should do it as Alex Johnson, about 10 feet from the warning track, waiting, makes the catch. The Angels win. So Sal Bando got under it just a little bit too much. And the Angels have to be a mighty happy band as they head for New York after falling behind 5-0, coming back to tie it in the ninth inning last night as Oakland did. This is the leadoff home run by Jim Spencer to tie it 5-5, and then the great relief pitching of Eddie Fisher and Dave LaRoche. And the Angels take it away by a score of 7-5. For the final totals, here's Don.
For the Angels, 7 runs, 14 hits, no errors, left 8 men on. Oakland, 5 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They stranded 9 men. Time of the game, 3 hours and 29 minutes. 12 innings worth this evening. Dave LaRoche winning his second without defeat, and Ron Klimkowski, the loser, his record 2-2. Home runs by McMullen, Spencer, and the winning blast by Jim Fregosi in the 12th. The paid attendance, 4,354. And we'll have as our special guest the manager of the Angels, the skipper, Lefty Phillips, on Angel Report, and that will follow in just a moment.
California Angels Baseball is brought to you by Standard Stations and Chevron Dealers, with more than 8,000 stations to serve you better. By Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, St. Louis, Newark, Los Angeles, Tampa, Houston, Columbus, Jacksonville, and Merrimack, New Hampshire. Brewers of Budweiser, king of beers. By Continental Airlines, where they do everything they can to make your flight better. With Continental, it's a matter of pride. And by the Small Car Experts, your Southern California Datsun dealer. Drive a Datsun, then decide. This broadcast is authorized under radio rights granted by the California Angels solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any other use without permission of the Angels is prohibited. Now stay tuned for important post-game coverage on Angel Report, coming right up.